right to assemble. As I said, speech, assembly,
Okay, I got other
to
platforms,
assemble.
but
The
I happen to
Trump
be watching a
just passed
video,
the order
show a video of myself. So give me
special
a couple minutes
agents
to get
and
the other
National
platforms
Guard
up,
at the at
and
Central
we'll be
Park.
on
So he wants to
momentarily.
have his own special
About three
version of
minutes.
the National Guard that he can dispatch to any perceived emergency. Well, the problem with a perceived emergency is that's anything he really can think of. If he believes that in Chicago is an emergency, but a more violent city like Memphis or St. Louis is not, he's going to send them to Chicago. Fact is, whatever constitutes an emergency is solely up to him. So if he deems that a bunch of Black Lives Matter protesters or a bunch of feminists or a bunch of LGBTQ protesters are somehow, some way a threat to security, he'll have his own National Guard force ready to dispatch to that area and break it
Good
up.
evening,
That
folks
is
that are
your
tuning
right to
in.
being allowed.
Puffy's mom.
You don't actually
Good
have to
evening.
be
I'm
right
actually
when
getting
you
my other
see
platform up, so it's gonna take a few minutes for me to be live. So bear with me. It'll be about 2 or 3 minutes.
burning down whole cities. They don't even see Black Lives Matter as a group that protests peacefully. Trump deems that group as a terrorist outfit. So anytime you get together, he can just deem it as an emergency and break up your right to assemble. In fact, it's possible that if you have a protest or two that he deems unruly, might just simply label your whole group as some type of terrorist outfit or something, so you no longer have the right to assemble in the future. As I stated, freedom of speech, press, assembly, and religion. So moving on, all of this is within the First Amendment, by the way. We haven't even gotten to the second of the 5 rights you're likely to lose under
Okay,
Trump.
just about
And
here.
there's 2
We're just
honorable
about ready.
mentions at the end of that.
This is that video, by the way. I happen to listen. I have not listened to it in a while, but people, it comes up a lot in the lives. I made a video titled "5 Rights You Will Lose Under the Trump Administration" and 2 honorable mentions. And I was just trying to see how it's aged. It's several months old now, and I haven't listened to it in a while. So I'm listening to it while I'm getting the show ready. So we'll be ready in about a minute here.
In the country right now, do you think if a Muslim wanted to come in this country under asylum or some type of visa, you think the Trump administration would be friendly to that? So when we say freedom of religion, not only going after religions like the Muslim religion, but they're also starting to slowly but surely force Christianity upon the American populace. Whether it's forcing it in the anthem or the pledge, whether it is forcing it in schools, several states already, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, are now forcing religion, forcing Christianity.
And now this right here did not age well. Oklahoma did try to force religion in schools. I believe it got shot down by the Supreme Court, but they did make the effort, though.
Christianity in some fashion or form, making it read the Bible, making it read the 10 Commandments. You think they'd favor the Quran? Of course not. Of course not. So your religion rights are being limited. You're being fed Christianity, but the rest of them would not be allowed. So press is the 4th one. We talked about religion, we talked about speech, we talked about assembly. Freedom of the press is the last one. Now, you're hearing all sorts of media outlets get their funding cut from President Trump, banning them from doing different things. APR, better yet, the Associate Press, National Public Radio, which is known as NPR. So AP and NPR, I mean, you see things, everything from CBS, all of these networks are being attacked by President Trump.
Okay. Good evening. I see somebody says they need it. Well, he did it. So you got your wish. Let me make sure everything here is on the up and up in terms of Wi-Fi versus Bluetooth. And we should be on. Somebody says, how are you? The crazy thing is my vision for some of these cameras has gotten pathetic. So you see me put my glasses on constantly because I got multiple devices aimed at me, and the text on the devices are various sizes. So I got one more here, and we should be going momentarily here. So bear with me briefly here. We're going to be talking about Bad Bunny's halftime performance. I'll tell you that much, though, but give me a second.
If they're favorable to Trump, he treats them favorably. More interviews. You see them at the Oval Office, where he kicked out the Associated Press reporter. He doesn't take questions very often from CNN. So you're losing the freedom of press as
Why
well.
isn't this working?
All of that is in the First Amendment. I told you 5 rights you're losing under President Trump. All of that is in the First Amendment. And by the way, MAGA favors all of that. Attacking CNN, promoting Christianity over other religions, breaking up whatever Trump perceives as a riot as opposed to a protest, and of course, taking away your right to burn a flag and all of this. I mean, MAGA favors all of that. Like I said, we're not talking about anything based on emotion. We're talking about things based on what Trump has said and how his supporters feel about it. So that's number one of all of 5. Number 2, in addition to losing your First Amendment, your Fourth Amendment is in jeopardy. Now, your Fourth Amendment covers your right against unwarranted...
Now, this one is aged very well.
I'm going to show you a few clips from President Trump to explain what I'm talking about. But unwarranted searches and seizures, being searched, without the police having a warrant, they don't have the right to search or seize any of your property. That is the Fourth Amendment. Here's President Trump.
His speech to black voters, Donald Trump promoting a controversial policy, stop and frisk.
I want to know, what would you do to help stop that violence, black on black crime?
Right. Well, one of the things I'd do, Ricardo, is I would do stop and frisk. I think you have to. We did it in New York. It worked incredibly well. And you have to be proactive.
We're going to rebuild our cities. We're going to work with Democrat mayors who are running, in every instance, running them. Democrat mayors and many Democrat governors. And we're going to rebuild our cities. We're going to bring them back like they used to be. We're going to make them safe places again. We're going to give our police their power back, and we're going to give them immunity from prosecution. So they're not prosecuted for doing their job.
This one is aged very well.
Take over the horribly run capital of our country, Washington, D.C.
Gangsta Grandma, thank you very much.
First of all, he's suggesting that we need to bring back stop and frisk. He's often used Chicago as an example of why to do that.
Okay, let me get this show going. I don't know why this last one is
an
fucking
emergency in a violent city like Chicago, but not deeming the violence in a more chaotic city like Memphis or St. Louis at all. So you can pick and choose wherever you want the emergency to be, but you hear him.
Okay, let's cut this. But this is I just happened to be watching that before I came on. That's a video you can, if you wanted to ever spend the time watching it. 5 rights America will lose under the Trump administration, and I give 2 honorable mentions as well. You can watch it, critique it, tell me I'm full of shit, whatever. But it is been on YouTube for several months. As you can tell, the Fourth Amendment, stopping, frisk, and giving police immunity from prosecution, that's something that has happened since I made this video. You saw J.D. Vance take to social media during the surge of ICE agents in Minnesota, telling them, don't forget you have immunity. Now, all of that happened after I made this video. The ICE agents were not in Minnesota when this came out. So certainly, the Fourth Amendment, and like I said, there's 5. You only heard 2. You heard freedom of speech and the Fourth. I can't even remember all 5. I gave 5 of them and 2 honorable mentions, and I can't even remember them because the video is several months old. Anyhow, we got a simple show tonight. You guys all watched the Super Bowl, right? I don't think there's anybody. Well, I may have a few female guests. We love our female viewers as well, but there may be a few females that did not watch the Super Bowl. Now, I'm sure I got a hell of a lot of my beloved MAGA that didn't see the halftime performance. I know, and we're going to talk about that if you watched Turning Point's performance. I did watch some Turning Point. If we're going to talk about it, I got to watch a little bit of it, right? I did watch some of it. Listen, I didn't understand shit Bad Bunny was talking about. And I didn't get anything favorable out of the Turning Point's performance either. Other than the Turning Point's performance, certainly threw around a lot of patriotic words. The flag is flying in the background. But Bad Bunny's performance was fairly patriotic as well. Just, it wasn't in English. So I do want to talk to you folks about your opinion of the Bad Bunny performance, why there's so much outrage. Many of you folks are probably aware President Trump took to social media and he had nothing good to say about the performance. Basically said it sucked. And he went on to attack the. I mean, it's a pretty long rant. I think it's about 3 or 4 paragraphs long that he went on this tirade, this whole rant. Personally, I'm going to say I think everybody, right, left, center, at this point, Trump is kind of doing what you would really expect him to do. Now, you wouldn't have expected Bush or Obama or Biden, to say something negative about a halftime performance. You would not have expected them to do it. But President Trump, you would kind of be surprised if he didn't chime in and say something awful. I mean, so Trump is, at this point, Trump is really kind of doing what Trump does and what we've come to expect. But I'll certainly talk to you folks about it, because I'm sure I got a hell of a lot of folks who favored the performance and others who thought it went to shit. So we'll talk about that. And in addition to that, because Bad Bunny is a Puerto Rican artist. He's from Puerto Rico. I tell you something, not only had I not familiarized myself with who Bad Bunny was, I've never heard of the guy until he became so controversial with this stuff. I mean, I really didn't know anything about his music. But in addition to not hearing anything about Bad Bunny and knowing anything about him, I gotta tell you, I'm really surprised at how many Americans, and I'm talking red-blooded Americans, are not aware that Puerto Ricans are American citizens. Folks, go back to your own country, all of that shit. I am shocked. Has the schools let our students down? Has our children been let down by schools? Why are there so many grown Americans that does not know Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens? Telling them to go back to their home country and shit like that. They have just as much right to migrate, live, and all of that in America as you do. I don't understand that, but it is amazing at how many Americans are not aware that Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens. I mean, so that was thrown in there amongst the insulting comments. Also, we'll talk about the Turning Point show, and I certainly would like to hear from you folks as well. Last but not least, why do you think this was so controversial? I get it, he doesn't speak English, but if I'm correct, Bad Bunny has already been on the halftime stage before. I believe both Jennifer Lopez and Shakira performed, and they also sang songs in Spanish, and it did not get all the criticism. Now, I'm going to admit, listen, Bad Bunny's performance was 100% in Spanish, 100%. So we'll talk about that. Last but not least, like I said, it'll be more of a brief show. Fortunately, there wasn't too much wild shit going on in the news today, but this is there. And I don't want to bang this topic any more than necessary. But look, I do just want to briefly ask this, because a lot of folks are suggesting that the posting of Michelle Obama and President Obama as primates is not racist. I get it. What I want to ask you folks is it possible for someone that is, let's say, white to post a picture, or should it be acceptable, rather? We're not talking about Trump. We're not talking about Trump. We're talking about anybody that happens to be white. Should we deem it acceptable under some circumstances for white Americans to portray black Americans as primates? Maybe for the sake of comedy, relevance, context, should we accept that? Because the reason I'm bringing this up, because I wanted to move off this topic, but it does have a little bit of relevance to it. The point I'm trying to make is this, because folks have been suggesting that President Trump, since he became our 47th commander-in-chief, has been somehow, some way normalizing hate or racism. This is what I'm hearing. I'll leave it up to you. But folks are saying he is somehow normalizing racism and hate. What I want to say is this. It has been traditionally viewed as a racial trope to portray the African-American community or people of color as beasts, primates, gorillas, apes, chimps, all of that. It has been pretty much universally accepted that that was racist. So the point is, if President Trump is allowed to post African Americans or people of color as apes, primates, and it's not racist, what's stopping somebody else that is white in the future from doing the same? If Trump's explanation, I'm talking to my beloved MAGA, if MAGA's explanation is comedy, you know, they are adversaries, so it's just getting back at his enemy, whatever the case may be. You got thin skin, you liberals can't take a joke, whatever the case may be. If President Trump is allowed to post African Americans as primates for the purpose of a joke, for the purpose of going back at a political rival, you fill in the blank why he did it. The point I'm making is, what's stopping somebody in the future from doing the same thing for some other reason they deem fit? This is the normalization part. So now you can start posting African Americans, black folks, colored people, whatever you want to fill in the blank with, as apes, and just simply suggest it was because I was making a joke, I was doing this. I'm just saying, should we bring that back? I think you guys all remember it. Some of you guys, well, you remember it even if you were not alive, but you've seen the syndicated reruns. Archie Bunker, the Jeffersons, shows like that. Perhaps Richard Pryor on stage telling jokes, using the N-word regularly, and in terms, I mean, even Muhammad Ali, Howard Cosell interviews, all of that. Racism used to be fairly normal as a discussion on television, and a hell of a lot more open than it is now. It's really been kind of clinically cleansed in modern day discussions than it used to be. It's a lot more clinical now. So perhaps should we get more thick skin and bring that era back where you can openly, question the use of the N-word and use the N-word on television, stuff like that. Would you favor that? So those are what we're going to talk about today. Certainly Bad Bunny's performance and why it's so controversial. And why don't so many Americans know that Puerto Rico is loaded with American citizens? So start out the program. You guys know how it's ran. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone for their commentary. This is an uncensored program, and that certainly may be evident today with some of the comments you're probably going to hear, but this is an uncensored program. Our comments go left of Mayor Mamdani to I'm having dinner with Q. Everybody gets to speak. You can be critical of anybody on the program, including yours truly. We are MAGA friendly. Always have been MAGA friendly. Always will be MAGA friendly. Nevertheless, liberals are welcome too. So looking in the comments, Jay Money says, I predict that he will free Diddy next. Well, I'll tell you something. For all of the folks on the left that's suggesting that Trump is racist, that would go a long way to push back. I mean, some folks, it wouldn't be enough. But, I mean, listen, if President Trump lets P. Diddy out of jail, I mean, look, people are going to say, well, why would a racist guy do that? So think of it that way. Handsome Conservative says, I watch football for football, not bad singing. So are you suggesting you don't watch any halftime show at all? Because they all feature singing, Handsome Conservative. By way of yes or no in the comments. But better yet, let me ask it to you this way. Not even by way of yes or no. I want you to put in the comments, Bad Bunny or Turning Point? Or I guess neither. I want to see, what did you watch at halftime? Bad Bunny, Turning Point, or nothing at all? Blue One Banks, yeah! Thank you. I'm curious to see. Bad Bunny all day says Gangsta Grandma. Deadpool, I see most of the folks. I mean, it is probably going to be similar because, I mean, when you think about it, nothing. I see somebody said that. I watched Turning Point, Selena. I mean, when you think about it, I believe the numbers for Turning Point was around 5 million, at least on YouTube. There were other places you could watch it, but primarily people were watching it on YouTube. And probably about 20 to 30 times as many people by numbers watched Bad Bunny. So I'm expecting most of my comments to overwhelmingly say Bad Bunny because that's what happened in real life. Is way more people watched Bad Bunny than they did Turning Point. But For Turning Point to be an independent publication, that's big numbers though. I mean, they got when I turned Turning Point on, it was about 2.5 million. Their show actually, I believe, started before the actual halftime show, and I saw it at about 2.4, 2.5 million. It got up to well over 5 towards the end. But it started, I'm just giving that number because I know my MAGAs, look, you guys are on bullshit. You're lying about the numbers. No, when I say 2.5, I'm indicating that I got in there early. So it was still climbing up. But I did see it climb over 5 toward the end. So looking in the comments, why are they trying to compete with an American sport? See me 187, they weren't trying to compete with the game. They were trying to compete with the halftime performance. During the game, Turning Point wasn't really holding a show. It was to compete with the halftime performance. So we'll leave it at that. Kid Rock music, hot garbage, says you're having, wow. I'm assuming you're not a Kid Rock fan. Well, listen, Kid Rock, he's beyond his peak. Still a big fan favorite of MAGA, but Kid Rock's days, I mean, he had his era. I mean, Garth Brooks is no longer at his peak. But there was a time Garth Brooks was like #1 in terms of album sales. Kid Rock's gotten old. And his music, his greatest hits, are not designed for somebody that's his age. So, I mean, listen, I'm a 50 Cent fan. 50 Cent's peak is past. I mean, as simple as that. Anyway, looking in the comments, Jesus Christ is the way, truth, and the life. How is taxpayers' money being used or abused and wasted? Do we have a check and balance policy, activity, practice for general public and government officials? No, we don't. President Trump is your only checks and balances right now. Bad Bunny cost $10,000 to see. Was it worth it? Well, Leroy, you didn't pay $10K to see Bad Bunny. You paid that money to see the game. Bad Bunny was part of the ticket. You didn't pay 10 grand. Walk in, you seen Bad Bunny, and then you had to leave. No, there's a whole fucking game that was involved in that purchase as well. Let me go to the box, tap the screen, get us on up to 20,000, THOU. You guys know how the program is ran. He said $10,000 just to see Bad Bunny, huh? Now, I know Bruno Mars tickets cost crazy money. Taylor Swift, you can pay some thousands to see. I mean, it depends on who you're going to see and where you want to sit. Gangsta Grandma. Good evening. Welcome to the program. What you say?
I hope you better not be fluffing tonight.
Program just started.
You better not be fluffing.
Program just started. So
yes.
You were #1, by the way. Did you see Bad Bunny's performance?
Hell yeah, he kicked ass. And now we have all the little maggots all big mad.
Now I'm assuming you understand Spanish.
Duh. That's my first language.
Okay, I'm just asking. I was told you were a white woman, remember?
Honey, I'm far from being white. I'm not a snow roach.
So, wait a minute. You're saying Spanish is your first language?
No shit, Sherlock. I've been done told you that.
I mean, you don't sound like you don't have an accent at all.
What the fuck does a Mexican and a Dominican sound like? Do I have to have a damn accent? Damn.
I'm just saying.
Just saying.
Put it this way.
I sound Spanish. How about that?
You don't sound like somebody that's. I can see Spanish maybe being your second language, but you don't sound like it would be your first.
I guess.
All right.
Hey, Bad Bunny kicked the ass though. I ain't gonna lie.
How about
He put those white people in their place, did he not?
No, he didn't.
People say, oh my God, I can't read. I don't understand Espanol, so I don't comprehend. If you couldn't comprehend that shit, then you motherfucker, you failed, okay?
You do, wait. You do understand most American citizens don't speak Spanish. What do you mean you can't comprehend it? I didn't comprehend it.
No, we ain't gonna lie like that, my Negro. Not today. Not today. Come on, number.
What are you getting
Not
at?
today. Okay, not today. Let me tell you, the statistics came out. It is more There is it's like 50-50 in the United States. A lot of us do speak Spanish, and a lot of people don't. And let me break this shit down to you, SA mofos that don't think shit. Let me break this shit down. Mexicans were here before your ugly white tea asses, and they spoke a Spanish. So let me break this shit to you. English is not our language. Thank you.
Well, first of all, why you gotta use ugly? Because in the comments, Tote says, why do you have to be Tote in the comments says, why do you have to be so damn rude, woman?
Oh, well, why does white people gotta be so damn racist?
Is everybody you
don't like our black skin.
Wait a minute.
They don't like our black skin. Don't like our caramel skin. They don't like nothing. They don't even like tamales. They fuck with everything about us. They steal everything. They don't have a culture. They want to steal everybody's culture. They're the colonizers. How about that? Let's just break this shit down to you. Why do you think there isn't no white holiday, white month holiday? Why is that? Why is that? Because they steal everything. That's the truth. Don't like it, oh well.
You clearly sound like somebody that does not like white people. 13% of Americans speak Spanish. Wait a minute. Rose Kenny in the comments says only 13% of Americans speak Spanish.
And you know what? Spanish was here before English was. How about that? And that's the truth.
So was the Native American language. It ain't here now, though.
Because guess why? Colonizers, you numbnut.
I didn't disagree with you. I'm just saying, just because it was here before, don't mean a damn thing now.
But it's like this, okay? The white tea people are so damn mad. The snow roaches
and
and the cornball ass monkeys are so mad because a Latino got on national television and sung from his heart. If you guys couldn't catch that and you couldn't catch what he was saying about unity and that the Americas, he said Americas.
Yeah, I caught it. But
all of them. Everybody came together.
But I just also
America.
Not only did I catch that, and you talk about all the nations, because America's a continent, not a country. I get it. But in everything that I caught, I also caught something you just said, because I'm aware that you believe this photo behind me of the Obamas as monkeys. You find that racist, right?
Well, no shit. I would think, but except for the maggots.
No, I'm talking to you because you just used the word in conjunction with white people. You called them cornball monkeys. How the hell are you not racist yourself?
I'm not racist.
You just referred to white people as monkeys.
I'm not like you. I don't have cock in my mouth. I don't have it dripping from my tongue. And I said what the fuck I said. Now, look, I call cornstarch monkeys because they are. They call us out our fucking name. They belittle us. They say that we need to go back to cross the border when there is no border. There should never been borders because the white T-man came up in here and stole this land. And then, do you know why we say it's a stolen land? Because even the United States knows they stole it because now they're trying to make it up to the Native Americans.
But what do you think, gangster?
All this is stolen.
Gangster.
All this shit's stolen. So nobody is illegal.
Wait, gangster grandma. Based on what you do realize most countries on earth were conquered and if we go by stolen land, what are you going to do? Open up every border in the world? Every country damn near is stolen land.
You know what, you cornstarch lover, you? Let me tell you something.
What the hell?
Let me tell you something. They broke treaties and stuff. When they conquered this and they fought them and they slaughtered the Native Americans, they went against everything they said they was going to do. That's why they said stolen. They went against it. That's why United States right now is paying them for their land and stuff. If it wasn't like so-called AKA stolen, why is the government paying for their land? Answer that damn question.
They're trying to...
Why is the United States government paying for the federal land that the Native Americans is? Why is that?
Because maybe they feel a bit sad for taking their land, but...
Why don't you get the white cock out your mouth? I am so sick of your ugly black ass. You know you need to come to the black side and quit drinking that fucking bleach. Why is it? So you can never answer my damn question.
I'm trying. You're going to fuck up. Will in the comments says, sounds like you hate your damn country. Sounds like you hate America, gangster grandma. That's what Will says.
I'm I'm not the one that's spearing hate in the damn country. I'm not the one that is trying to go get Greenland. I'm not the one that is stealing our own damn money and giving it to other people. So miss me with that BS shit. Miss me with that BS shit. This land was stolen. That's why the United States government has to pay the indigenous people money every damn month because of reparations. They get their reparations because they stole their land. I mean, it's common sense. That's why.
But
this is why.
Oh my God!
I gotta be nice.
I see that. But I am gonna ask you if you realize most countries on this planet used to be owned by somebody else. Most countries are stolen land according to Europe.
The white T-man did it. The white T-man did it.
No,
What do you think?
You don't. Wait. Hold on. You don't realize. Sounds like you don't realize. In the Middle East and in Africa, there's tons of stolen land. They colonize each other's shit too. They fight and take over.
I'm not talking about Africa, Pookie. I'm talking about the United States of America. Right now, we are on stolen land, and we are. That's why the indigenous people get money every month. It's because of the stolen land. That's why the United States tries to make it up to them, because they know it was stolen. Why don't you guys go look it up? That's why the indigenous people even say you on stolen land. People need to get educated. And I can't stand the fact that, they're kicking Mexicans out when Mexicans were here before the white T-man is.
Like I said, I'm not arguing with your stolen land statement. I'm just simply saying that is normal for the evolution of Earth. That's happened everywhere.
Well, it should have been. The white T-man should stay in Europe and let the indigenous people keep their land. Oh, but no, they have to bring our black asses over here in ships and kicked us off and did it to the what? They shipped slaves all over the damn place. That's why we have Afro-Latinos. Because of why? Because they dropped some of us off in Dominican Republic. They dropped some of us off in all other countries. You know why? That's what the white T-man did. There's nothing nice about what the white T-man did to us. Nothing. That's why they hate us so much, because we throw it back in their face. They hate us so much right now is the black and brown people are multiplying like little rabbits, because we love the chocolate ding-a-ling and we like the caramel ding-a-ling, and we do not like the white man ding-a-ling. So we're having black babies and we're having brown babies, and they don't like that because they're disappearing. And then the white woman, oh my God, the snow little roaches love the BBC, so they're hopping over the fence and jumping in and trying to get that BBC to say they got mixed babies.
Well, I got a viewer.
Am I lying?
I don't know.
Am I lying?
I don't quite know. I got a viewer that's suggesting perhaps you need to make a time machine and go back and fix it. He says dumb bucks. So he said maybe you need to make a time machine and go back and fix that shit.
Oh, damn, I like Takakuchi and BBC. So I give them some kind of flowers for liking this shit because, honey, it's big and strong. It don't got no bejeebies and it's chocolate. So, you know what I mean? But yeah, the white women always want to be jumping in our black men's pants just to get this to black BBC to say, oh, I'm black now. I'm black now.
Wait a minute. You do realize there is a growing number of African American women that have become tired of the antics of the African American male, and they're getting white guys.
Hey, so more power to that sister. Hey, if she can look at her man and look at the pink winky and say, I can suck on it, hey, more power to you. But not this sister. Hell to the function of. Not this sister. I cannot look at a white. I'd be busted. Look, and it's pink. And it has no damn color to it, and it burns in the sun. I am so damn good. Hey, I get more power to you, sister.
Why would you have you saying burns in the sun? Why would anybody have their genitals exposed to the sun?
Hey, honey, I mean, it looks pink as hell. It looks busted, tore from the floor. I mean, it's not cute. I can see a black man and say, damn, that black man looks fine as shit. Butt naked at all. You feel what I'm saying? Black men bodies are sexy. I look at a white man, I'm like, damn.
I don't know,
God
maybe.
can bless you, honey.
I think you just
God
got.
should not bless you.
I think you just got a chip on your shoulder towards Caucasians. You sound racist.
I'm being honest. If there was a white man that had, well, no, I couldn't. I'm sorry. I'm pro-black. I couldn't.
I believe that, but you sound.
I couldn't take it from the team.
You sound anti. I get that you're pro-black, but you sound anti-white. Bobby K says.
No. I'm anti-maggot. before I save a maggot. I will throw gasoline on a maggot, and I would never do that to my ally. So there's a difference between a maggot and an ally. Yes.
What is your beef with Mac? Why is it so bad with MAGA? What are you hating on him for so much?
Really, Tim?
Well, according to MAGA, they just want to make America great again. What is wrong with making this nation great?
When was it great for black and brown Americans? Do you realize that black and brown Americans been lynched, been, hung in trees, and every damn thing else? When has it been good for us, though?
What?
I would like to know, when has it been great? Now, for the white T-man, it's always been great. They get shit served to them. It's always been like that for the white T-man. But when has it been great for us, black and brown folks?
What?
Been unalive by the po-pos and every damn thing else? When has it? And you know what? Like I said, right now, there has been 2 unalivings from white tea people from ISIS trying to protect us.
Gangsta Grandma,
So tell me.
do you not realize that everybody, when they're talking about making the country great again, they don't all view it through the prism of, well, what are we doing for black people? What about making it great for the country as a whole? Maybe they're not focusing on the race like you are.
Let's get this shit let's get it fucking fact straight. For one, what he's doing right now isn't making it great for nobody. He's taking from us. He's suing us for $10 million for the IRS. He's taking money from us to give to him. He stole oil from Venezuela and put it in offshore accounts so only he could touch. When is it going to be great? Nothing. And we don't need no more ice. We need to take your ugly ass and give it to ice. How about that? And why can't the white people go back to Europe?
Because they have a country here. It's called America. They even named it. They named it the United States. They have their own country here.
The white man stole this country. It would have been indigenous. Mexico would have still been Mexico. California would have been Mexico. New Mexico would have been Mexico. Utah would have been Mexico. Colorado would have been Mexico. Texas would have been Mexico.
Well, maybe you should talk to the Mexicans for how they lost their country.
That guy stolen, you numbnut.
They didn't.
This is why, that guy stole it from a war. And then when they couldn't sign the papers, they couldn't even speak Spanish. So that guy stole it. Why don't you go read some real
you're involved in
Why don't you go read some real history?
So I know about the Alamo and all that. So you're involved in a war. You lose the war, usually losing the war.
That guy stole it.
Well,
the war.
Gangsta Grandma, when the war is lost, usually the country that loses the war loses land.
You're white, Tim. You're
So
white.
nothing to do with being white. This shit happens in Africa.
Get a professor about real history and get up in here and let him get some thing on you, because let me tell you something. I know more history than you do, honey child. Okay. And let me break this shit down to you. The shit was stolen. The shit was stolen. It never was borders here. Never was a border till the white T-man came here. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Till the white T-man came here.
Grandma. Gangsta, hold on. Hang on a second. You're passionate, but understand, even when there are wars on the continent of Africa, where there's no white man involved in it, the losing side usually loses land. That's how wars go. That ain't just a white man thing.
That's not what I'm saying. Let me tell you something, Tim. They stole you. Oh my God.
I get it.
People. Why? They fought them for nothing. They just colonized it. They stole it, you nut. See, that's why you got the cock in your mouth and this dripping uncooked protein. You rather be a bitch to them. Yes, master. Yes, master. And then you don't even know your own fucking history. You're going to say it's going to make America great again? This place never was great for black and brown people. Never will and never will going to be. We'll fight right now for our damn life right now. Like whatchamacallit. We have white liberals right now saying people not to go vote. Do you understand?
Wait. You said we are fighting for. You said we're fighting for our lives right now. Who the hell are black people fighting for their lives against? Who's threatening the life of black people other than other blacks?
Are you serious, Tim?
Yes.
See, this sounds like you right now. This right now, you're here saying why were we fighting? Because you're next, you numbnut. History's repeating itself. The 19th wet W back is repeating itself right now.
Let me ask you a question.
They're not coming for your ugly, black, bald-headed, fat fucking ass?
Damn.
You got it mistaken.
Let me ask you a
Okay?
quick gangster
You got it
grandma.
mistaken.
Let me ask you a question, and I want an honest damn answer from you. As an African American woman, African American man that lives where African Americans usually live, who are you most likely to lose your life to through a violent act? A white man or a black person?
White man.
So
White man.
most African Americans that are losing their lives to violence and homicide is being done by white people.
A white man. They're the most. Hey, they are the. Go look.
I don't need to look. I'm from the south side of Chicago. I know ain't a bunch of white dudes doing that.
Okay, you say black on black, right? Black on black, right? There ain't no such thing as black on black. The white man and the white man, right? Who's pooping up our schools? Is it the black people pooping up our schools?
You realize for every school,
Answer my
I
question.
am answering your question. For every school,
Who's pooping out damn schools and our churches? Who's doing that? Who's going into the malls and pooping up our malls? Who's doing that?
I don't even think you have a bunch of mass shooters that are going into the black community as white people shooting it up. Even what you're talking about ain't happening to no significant
You want
degree.
to say black on black? If you're in a black hood, Negro, you're going to be a black victim. If I go into a Mexican hood, Negro, I will be a victim of a Mexican thing. If I go into a white hood, okay, cracker ass crackers like that, I'll be a cracker victim.
So if
You
you
feel what I'm saying?
if you admit you're likely to lose your life to the people you're around, then why the hell are black people in black neighborhoods worried about the white man when their own kind is doing it to them?
Because the white man is the most. Do you realize the white man is the most dangerous? Go look it up. Statistically known, the white man is the most dangerous of them all.
Ain't nobody.
I will pick a bear over a white man any day. I'll pick a bear because I know what the bear would do. I don't want you jamming me up in my shit because I don't
See
you
that.
the hell
I gotta move it. I gotta move it on for time anyway. But Gangsta Grandma, we just
Let me tell you this though, Tim.
real quick.
Cut the bullshit out, Tim. Cut the bullshit out. We are right now, they got mad because there was Spanish speaking at the Super Bowl. They're mad at everything that isn't about white tea people, Tim. It has to be all about white tea people. You got to realize that. They're mad at us for no damn reason. They don't like our skin color. They don't like nothing about us. They don't like our tamales. They don't like our nothing. They don't. But they want to steal everything from us. You got to get your shit together and quit cupcake and get off your knees for the white man on God. Because you'll never see a white cock in my fucking mouth. It's chocolate pussy and chocolate dick all day with me.
I'll leave it at that. I gotta go. I'll leave it at that. Chocolate. Oh my God. Tap the screen, by the way. There is no cock in the mouth of the host. Yikes. Tap the screen. A dozen cupcakes for sale. She's ungodly, says Selena. Damn. She's ungodly. Selena Dawn Hawkins. That's a, you ever heard somebody, you watch soap operas or stuff like, you ever see somebody really insult the hell out of you without using a swear word or anything, and you can feel it. You know, maybe like your grandma or your dad or somebody insult the hell out of you without cussing you. Ungodly. Wow, Selena. I felt that. Anyway, tap the screen, get the likes on up to 40,000. Let your thumbs not be lazy. Help your boy out with the hat, mustache, go. You guys know what we do here. Certainly a lot of support could be necessary. Let me up for a minute. Tony, we will do, help your boy with the hat, mustache, go. And tap the screen, get us on up to 40,000. We'll take the next caller at that point. Bring on straight talk and let Gangsta Grandma cook them. Well, Gangsta Grandma just cooked me, apparently, according to some of you guys. They fight wars better than anyone. Who fights wars better than anyone? Real quick looking in the comments, though. At least, what did I say? I'm not mad at the people that work for a living. I'm mad at some people that can make a change, but won't because they like their vacations. And yes, they are white, most of them. I don't agree with that. I mean, there's no shortage of, let's be honest. Most major cities, most places where African Americans live, particularly in big cities, are controlled by African Americans. You're going to tell me those mayors can't make a difference? and yet many of those cities are run down as well. So I'm not exonerating the white man, as my last guest will say. You got coffee in your mouth, but what I'm saying is, people in power that can make a difference and they fail us are on both sides of the racial spectrum, or better yet, all sides of the racial spectrum. There's a lot of corruption from white and black politicians. Hell, even Jesse Jackson's son. Now, you know Jesse Jackson's history of, marching for civil rights, actually going to jail for civil rights, being around Martin Luther King and all of that. In fact, I think he was standing next to Martin Luther King when Martin Luther King was assassinated. His son became a congressman in Illinois, ended up going to prison because he was spending campaign donations on jewelry and shit for his girlfriend. Now, that's an African-American that climbed up due to all his father's work in civil rights and everything. And when he got into a national office, he fucked up. And he wasn't in there that long. So I definitely disagree that all of the people in power failing us are just all white guys. There's plenty of African Americans that do it. Some of you folks may remember Kwame Kilpatrick, a former mayor of Detroit. He got a big prison stint. Him and his dad scamming that whole city out of millions of dollars. African Americans. So I'm just simply going to say, I'm not going to pretend like it's only white people that get in power and they fuck up and do wrong. Power corrupts no matter what your skin color is. Get up your boy out with the hat and mustache. Go support the program. You guys know how it is. Looking in the comments, y'all get off Tony's nuts, says Miss Moped. Who the hell is Tony? Former mayor of New York. Yeah, well, you're talking about the last guy. The last guy was doing corrupt shit. Yeah, what was the guy's name? Yeah, the last guy. But listen, I'm not going to take away from the notion of Rudolph Giuliani and his fall from grace as well. I mean, so he's a white former mayor of New York. Big city mayors tend to have a long history of corruption. Blue One Banks, yeah. Thank you for the hat and mustache. Yeah, big city mayors, white, black, Republican, Democrat, you name it. It's just a lot of corruption in big cities. It's a lot of corruption available, so it does happen. Going back to the box, we'll make it happen. I don't know what I'm looking at, but we'll go straight to Bryce. Good evening, Bryce. Why is Nancy Pelosi free? Because they haven't caught her committing a crime. She made a ton of money as a congresswoman. We can suggest that might be corrupt. I'm not going to disagree. It probably is some insider trading involved in that. But you go at the Nancy Pelosi, are you just going at her because she made the most money? You think she wasn't passing those tips down to other members of Congress? You think Marjorie Taylor Greene making 25 mil? You think all that was legit? So it's everywhere. And President Trump has probably made more money this year than he's done in his other previous 78 years. So corruption is everywhere. We'll go to Miss Mobetta. Good evening, Miss Mo. Welcome to the program.
Hey, Tim.
Hey. So
sorry, y'all. It's not Tony.
Who is that's somebody?
I guess some guy that he said he's a huge content creator and he debates and.
I gotta talk to him then. I have to talk to him.
He's MAGA. And
nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So
after I'm done.
I'm thinking about Pretty Tony from the Mac. Stick yourself. Stick yourself.
Pretty Ricky, what they call him.
Yeah, Pretty Tony. I'll bring up Pretty Tony. We'll have a conversation. Did you see the Super Bowl?
I did.
Halftime show?
Listen, it was a vibe. We was in there dancing our ass off, even if we didn't understand what he said.
So you like Kid Rock just that much, huh?
Yeah. You got jokes today, Tim.
I'm just asking.
Shut your pedophile ass up. If I call ICE on you, bitch, shut up. Don't start your shit.
Well,
anyway.
So
it was a good show. It was great production. Whether you understood it or not, the vibe was in the building. Most of the time when we hear music like that, we're not really listening to the lyrics anyway. You're dancing to the beat and not the lyrics.
True.
You understand what I'm saying? Unless you're in a listening session or riding in your car or something. Like, oh, what did you say?
I'm an avid fan of house, deep house music, and I do listen to a lot of artists from foreign countries where I'm just vibing to the beat and I don't understand it, particularly South Africa. But what I do want to ask is, folks suggest that, listen, football is our most popular sport in this country, and the Super Bowl is the most popular televised event in this nation. America's primary language is English. Why not have a performer at halftime that speaks the language that most citizens can understand? What say you?
They did it. Lady Gaga was up there. They wasn't happy with that.
Lady Gaga represented less than 2% of the performance.
But she was an American.
You get what I'm saying? Give us a show we can understand.
I know exactly what you're saying. But my point is, you're never going to please people that are. You can never please people that are never satisfied.
I get it.
He was Kendrick Lamar's, and his whole shit was in English. So the fuck are they saying? Like, come on, this is not the first time. This has been Jennifer Lopez, Selena. What's her name? Not Selena. Oh God, Shakira. Mm-hmm. You had multiple non-English speaking people up there performing, and they performed in their own language.
Well,
like Gangsta Grandma say, Gangsta Grandma be on point with a lot of things. Her delivery is off the rockers. We know that. Her delivery is off the rockers. Her ad-libs and stuff, it cancels out the shit that she say, because what she's saying, a lot of it is true.
Yeah, but
a lot of that stuff is true.
But is it really wrong, or even some would say racist? Is it really wrong for somebody to say, why can't you give us a halftime show in the language I understand? Or they didn't even give you closed caption.
What do they want? Let what they call it, Def Leppard and excuse me, they wanted that pedophile Kid Rock up there. The one who was singing about the underage girls. That's the one who they wanted up there.
Well, to be honest with you, some of the lyrics from Bad Bunny's song, when you translate them, they're pretty raunchy. They're pretty fucking raunchy.
It wasn't talking about pedophilia. I can tell you.
Yeah.
It might have been fresh, but listen, Trump talks about women like that too, doesn't he? He just says it in English. Yeah. Oh, I can go grab him by the pussy.
Yeah. I mean, listen.
But what are we talking about here? They could go ahead and scratch and sniff with all that bullshit.
Well,
you got what you got. He broke a record with the amount of views and all of that stuff. So find something else to talk about or be angry about. You could talk about it, but you angry for what?
Well, they're just simply saying that you're not giving the audience something they can understand, and not to mention, Bad Bunny is on record criticizing the president. So,
right. So am I. So are you. So is the whole fucking TikTok. So what the hell? Like, listen, his halftime performance didn't take away from that sorry ass game we saw. If they want to be mad at something, me mad at that shit.
Yeah, the game.
My boxes didn't hit either. I was big mad. I was like, bring Bad Bunny back for the second half. Shit.
yeah. The game. It was a series of. I think only one touchdown. And by that time, it was already over with anyway, just a series of field goals. So, I mean, there are games like that, but you want a Super Bowl to be a little bit more exciting. Some of the games...
Jeremy, nobody wants to debate you. How about you and that Tony that y'all speak of go to one of y'all pages and debate each other? Get out of here.
If Tony is so highly recommended, I am interested in figuring out, listen, I want as much MAGA as I can get. So if he represents MAGA, I certainly want to hear from him. But I also wanted to ask, because we talked about this many times before, and I don't want to keep talking about it, but the idea that you could post an African-American as a monkey and it's comedy, a joke, it's not racist. I'm asking, is it possible, if Trump can post them as monkeys or apes or primates or whatever, and it's not considered racist, then that would mean that anybody white in the future could also post them as apes or post anybody black as apes and say it's comedy as well. I'm asking, should we get past history where it's always been considered racist to post African Americans and people of color as monkeys?
What is actually getting past history when you have the so-called leader of our country doing the same shit that they did back then?
Well,
what is he?
No, listen.
Well, let me ask my question. What is he doing? What is he doing that's so different than what they did back then?
Well, back then they were lynching folks and enslaving them. Trump ain't doing none of that. You're not trying to. Are you trying to suggest that Trump? Wait. Are you trying to suggest that President Trump is oppressing African Americans?
No, he's not oppressing.
Okay, then. So,
however, and this is where when it comes to about black people not being inherently racist, because at what part of this thing, the government or the system that we as black people are in control that can stop people from doing the redlining and the marking of the of applications saying that no, you're not qualified.
yeah, I've gotten in trouble from some of my African American viewers because there are a lot of African Americans that believe black people cannot be racist. I think that's what you're kind of alluding to. I disagree with that. I absolutely believe that black people.
You know what makes a difference?
Sure.
You know what makes a difference, Tim?
Explain.
It's because of the why. And I speak about this all the time. I speak about all the time. Black people are racist towards white folks, not all. The ones that are, most of them are, we're racist against them because of how they treated us. White people are racist against black people because of how we look. That's a whole different caliber, Tim.
Well, I'm going to tell you when you listen to.
They do not equal.
Well,
they do not equal.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm going to tell you when you listen to Gangsta Grandma describe why she don't like whites, it's a lot of how they look in there. She's talking about their skin tone and their pink.
That's listen. The stuff Gangsta Grandma speak is this. That's Gangsta Grandma. She has an opinion and a mind of her own. You understand?
But you realize she's not the only one like that, right?
I get it.
Okay, then.
And again, I can't speak for all of them, but for the majority or the base of why the racism comes from, it's reverse racism. That means that racism started somewhere else. And we're only doing it not as a reaction, not because that's just how we are, because you yourself know, we are not those type of people. We are the most welcoming people that has been the most abused on this here United States of America.
But I know a lot of African Americans that are not very welcoming to white people. I just disagree with the notion.
Because they choose to ride with their history, Tim. You can agree with it or not, but they choose to ride with the history. And again, when it comes to slavery and different things like that, it was never really abolished. It was just pacified and shifted.
So you think So you believe? Hold on. So you believe that if the history of what happened to African Americans did not happen, nobody black would be racist. They're all racist only because of what happened in the past.
Pretty much. You can make all kind of faces if you want to, Tim. Listen, what, and like I said, what a lot of Gangsta Grandma be saying is true, but it's just, again, she articulating it is a little different for her. So now, if you want to go back, in order for you to see the fruits, you have to go to the root. You're not going to plant an orange tree and grow figs. Now, when racism in this country, from the beginning, from the start, when things came up, black people were the most. When it came to slavery, white people were indentured servants. Those are different. They're not the same.
I'm not arguing that, but listen, African American black people.
I have books here.
Okay, hold on.
I can teach, but we're not gonna get it.
Well, let me just say, black people are human, just like white people are human. The idea that racism would only develop in white people's mind, and if white people had never mistreated blacks, racism in blacks would never develop. I just don't buy that. I believe that black people can be just naturally hateful towards others, just like, because there are black people that don't like Hispanics, and there are Hispanics that don't like blacks. So
that's the human part of people. I get that part. I hear what you're saying, and I don't think it would be based in race though. That comes with a cultural divide.
There are black people on the African continent in places where they've never had any enslavement or racial issues with white people at all, and they still don't like them. Some people are racist toward they're racist. Some people do it just because of what they heard.
That's beyond the human part, though. Those are spirits clashing, Tim. Those are spirits clash. Again, when you don't even like half of your family members. So that has nothing to do with race. That's just that's just a spirit clash. I don't like you right now. You don't like me.
I think it is
beyond the human thing.
Well, I think it's going to be. I think that makes it more difficult to have racial harmony when we're only pretending like the white guy's the bad guy. There are black people that don't like whites.
No. I don't want you to get me wrong when I say that, because you got raggedy in all race, creeds, and colors.
Okay.
There's raggedy all over the place. But when we talk about here and these United States of America, it started in one specific place. And we can't deny that, Tim. That cannot be denied. Now, again, how are we supposed to get over that when you have the so-called leader of this country doing shit like that picture you got posted up there? Even if I don't care if he had everybody of every color in there. That's not unifying, is it?
No, I don't like the picture. We've had a couple shows on that. I don't want to go too deep down there, but what I'm saying is, how do you respond to folks who simply say, people of color they got thin skin. You can't take a fucking joke. It was meant to be a joke. This is what Trump supporters are saying.
I know they fucking lying when Trump gets up there and call people out their name. He called journalists piggies and shit like that. Calling people saying they come from shithole countries, and come on now, we're not gonna do that.
Well,
not today, Tim.
You know the man don't like to pull punches.
His skin is thin as tissue paper.
And Doc Honeycutt, thank you for your support. In the comments, Big Shit says, if Burna Boy ever do SB, all hell is breaking out. What do you mean by SB? I don't know what that means. Big Shit.
What'd he say?
If Burna Boy, I mean, it's almost like it's coded. If Burna Boy ever do SB, all hell is breaking out. I do not
Super
know.
Bowl. SB stands for Super Bowl. If he ever.
Oh, is he a hip hop artist?
I guess I'm not into him either.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, he pretty much hip hop. Yeah,
all
but
right.
listen, what are they mad at? This country, since the existence of the European
Blue one. Thanks.
way,
Thank you.
Just the European way, white people have been on the top of the food chain for everything.
Well, you can't blame. Wait, hold on. You can't blame. You can't. Yeah, but you can't.
That's just a fact.
Yeah, that's a fact. But all of that ain't the responsibility of the white man. I mean, look. Fact is, folks like MLK literally died to give African Americans the right to equality, the right to vote, the right to better. And there's a hell of a lot of black people that don't cash in on it. How many blacks don't vote every election?
Because the same people are in charge, Tim. Just because MLK was taken out, what position of the black man has switched since then?
You're trying to give me an excuse for why blacks don't vote, and you're legitimizing that?
Oh, no. Oh, no, I get that part. I get it.
Yeah.
But even in that instance, we're still only 13 to 14% of the population.
I'm not arguing with that, but you can utilize as much of that 13% as you can. It's a large portion of us that don't vote.
I do agree with that. I agree. If you have the opportunity to vote, then vote. However, you have to take one instance and they run into each other, because then you have a lot of felons that are African American.
Well, that ain't helping them out either when they out there. That ain't helping them out either when they going out there and deliberately committing felonies and shit. That ain't helping them either.
I get that too. However, how many other people that have been wrongly convicted and incarcerated and got out and could not and still couldn't vote?
I mean, listen.
And we have a felon running the country.
Let me ask it to you this way: despite all of the intolerance and things that you see going on right now in 2026, do you agree that the African American community, even with whatever level of intolerance is in existence today, could be and should be doing better than they're doing? In other words, a lot of African Americans are the reason that the African American community is not prospering more than it should be. What say you?
No, because the black people that I'm around, they're doing very well for themselves. They're doing well for themselves.
Only
However, I'm not going to erase or deny that how the system in this country has been set up, and the people that are actually that were in charge then are still in charge now, because they fucks with cronyism.
okay. So let me ask you.
They got rid of the DEI because they thought too many of us was getting jobs without being qualified.
Okay, so let me ask you.
How many places that we were not allowed to move?
So
in
right now
prosper?
in 2026, you just want to get a college degree, gainfully employed, get yourself a house, a nice car, and have a little bit of money in the bank. Do you believe the white man is preventing African Americans from doing that?
Yep.
In what ways?
My story, and I'm sticking to it. Now look. Look. Let me tell you something. Now look. My daughter. I'm gonna use my daughter as an example, right?
Okay.
So what happened is she went to college, got a master's degree and everything. What did Trump do? Got up there and said that her profession is not professional.
Yeah.
So you know what that does? That decreases the amount of money that they would have to pay you. That they would have to pay you because your position it's not qualified as professional. Is that not taking from black? And most of them are black women.
Yeah, in that case, but you're telling me so she couldn't get in another career. There's nothing she can do.
How many black women were let go from their jobs just in 2025?
Yeah, but
over 300,000.
I don't favor what Elon Musk did with laying people out. But American workers get laid off all the time. You get back up and get another job. That happens to everybody. I don't favor what Elon did.
They got laid off for not doing their job.
No, they don't. No.
All of those black women,
No.
why did they lose their employment when Donald Trump and Elon Musk?
No, sometimes you get laid off. Sometimes you get laid off because you happen to work for a bad company. Let's say you're a manager at Circuit City or a Montgomery Ward somewhere. You got laid off because your company fucked up.
Lost their job though. They weren't the ones that lost their job.
The company went bankrupt. Everybody lost their job.
So 300,000. It wasn't 300,000 black women working for Circuit City that lost their job.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is people lose their job all the time through bad management of companies and things like that.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. It ain't at an influx of 300,000 plus.
Depends on I don't know. Depends on the company. I mean, company like Sears that went under. I mean, how many people work for Sears during this heyday? That does happen.
Go under all the time.
What
companies go under all the time?
Right. So So what you're saying in regards to
shut your ass up. You don't like what you hear? Beat it.
So in regards to your daughter and what the Trump administration has done to her profession, are you saying that because of what he did, there's no way for her to get back up, go in another industry or something, and maintain the American dream?
Why should she have to?
She shouldn't. She shouldn't.
Why should she have to with all the schooling and the money that it took for her to get to where she was?
She shouldn't, but you're making it sound like her life is over. It's impossible for her to correct things. She's done.
I'm not saying that it was over, but he interrupted it for what?
I don't disagree with that. But that happens
For what?
That happens.
At what cost?
President Trump is the manager of the federal government. Just like a manager of a company can fuck up and cause all the employees to lose their jobs. Trump mismanaged what's going on with your daughter.
He is that fuck up.
Listen, I'm not arguing with that. I don't think the people should have got fired. I think what Doge did was horrible to those people. I really do. But companies fire branch offices and do that to employees all the time.
No, but what they did, it targeted minority people, and I'm not just speaking to minority as in color.
I have heard that.
It targeted minorities. That's exactly what it did.
I have heard that.
And I was just using my daughter as one example. There's hundreds of thousands or more of her.
Yeah.
How do you not consider a nurse a professional?
Unfortunately, I'm due for time. I could go back and forth with that one, but I got to move on. Miss Mobetta, you didn't make it easy, but thank you for coming through. Thank you for coming through.
Of course.
All right, by the way, folks, tap the screen. This is uncensored programming. Get us on up to 60,000. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone. Oh, I don't want to have this picture up here. Let me take it down. I know a lot of folks are, why the hell you keep talking about this? I'm only asking about this topic for one simple reason. Folks are suggesting that this is a joke, and folks on the left, particularly the African-American community, cannot take a joke, and what Trump did is not racist at all. So the point I'm making is, if one Caucasian can post a picture of African-Americans as apes, which is what Trump did, or Trump's staffer is what he's saying, whatever. I'm sure the staffer is not exactly Wesley Snipes or Samuel L. Jackson. So, you're talking about a white person posting a photo or video, rather, of African Americans that are apes. If it can be called a joke or comedy or some other reason, and that's a legitimate way to allow somebody white to post a black person as an ape, which traditionally has been accepted as a racist trope, how then is it not normalizing racism? Let's say a white guy wants to post a picture of me as an ape. I look like a monkey, or I look like a primate, whatever. A lot of folks in the comments say I look like some shit all the time anyway. So if he does it, he could use Trump's reason. It's just a joke. Quit being thin-skinned. So I'm asking, should we just normalize what used to be referred to as a racist trope? Because President Trump, either it's going to be considered as a racist trope going forward, or if we accept it as a joke when Trump did it, then we have to be willing to accept it as a joke from now on. If he can post it and it's a joke, the next man can post it and say it was meant to be comedy as well. Should we just start accepting what used to be considered as a racist trope? That's what I'm asking. Real quick, looking in the comments, the president posted this. Countries across the world have reported on this. Yes, Chris, the president did post it. Yes, the president did post it. Real quick, thank you for your generosity there. Jester Actual says Bad Bunny was badass at the halftime show. The Obama meme was just calling trained monkeys what they are. Oh my God. How could you go from that first sentence to the second one? And then he continues on by saying, our DNA is the same, but there are those that want chaos. You start out by saying Bad Bunny was badass at the halftime show, which sounds like a compliment. Sounds like a supreme compliment. And then the next sentence, you say the Obama meme was just calling trained monkeys what they are. So you're suggesting that not only are the Obama's monkeys, but they're trained monkeys. Wow. Wow. Jesus. Thank you for the support, but I don't know who trained them. Who? Jesus. Anyway, let me continue on. Who is the trainer of the Obamas? I've never heard them referred to as trained monkeys. Robbie Nick Nye says, caller, sometimes you need to find a new massa. Yikes. Okay, and before we move on, tap the screen, folks, get us on up to 60,000. I like to ask them that training. I love to have their money. Yeah, I would like to have the Obama's money as well. Continue on with the program, though. Wow, trained monkeys threw me off. I've never heard anybody call that. Wow, but the Obamas, out of all people, yikes. Real quick, thank you for your welcome into the friend of the program there, Versace 5. Good evening, and thank you for your support. Going on with the show, I'll go to the next caller. Thank you for speaking the truth. Trump is a repulsive slime ball. Take what he says with a grain of salt, not worth getting upset over. Idiotic, says Austin Nash. I think a lot of folks agree. Some disagree. A lot of folks agree. Look, I'm going to say it like this. It doesn't matter whether you view what Trump posted as racist or not. It was meant to be at least insulting. It was at least meant to be insulting. Take the Obamas out of the equation. Let's say the Obamas were not even featured in the video at all. It was still meant to be insulting to the rest of the politicians and celebrities that were in it. The Whoopi Goldbergs and all. I mean, it was meant to be insulting at the very least. Racism at its worst. That's it. There is no other option. Now you can say it was meant to be funny. Yes, it was a joke at the butt at the expense of all of the people in it. So it was either meant to be at the very least insulting, at the very worst racist, or perhaps a combination of both. If you didn't like the last two Super Bowl shows, thank Trump for his divisive rhetoric. Did he speak out against they not like us? What is the guy's name again? Shit, did he speak out against that guy too? Him and Drake beefing around? Real quick, before I go to the next caller briefly, the message Trump stated, the Super Bowl halftime show is absolutely terrible. One of the worst ever, in caps, exclamation point. It makes no sense. Is an affront to the greatness of America and doesn't represent our standards of success, creativity, or excellence. Nobody understands a word this guy is saying. And the dancing is disgusting. Have you seen Trump dance? He is suggesting that Bad Bunny's dancing is disgusting. Have you seen that shit he does? That looks like he's jacking off two people at the same. Anyway, he says nobody understands the word this guy is saying, and the dancing is disgusting. Yeah, especially for young children that are watching from throughout the USA and all over the world. I guess he didn't see Shakira and J-Lo essentially doing a striptease. I guess he didn't see Justin Timberlake expose Janet Jackson's titties. I guess he didn't see any of that. He just focused on Bad Bunny, huh? All right. Anyway, and then he continues on saying, this show is just a slap in the face to our country, which is setting new standards and records every single day. Goes on into including the best stock market 401k. There is nothing inspirational about this mess of a halftime show. And watch. It will get great reviews from the fake news media because they haven't got a clue what is going on in the real world. By the way, the NFL should immediately replace this ridiculous new kickoff rule. Make America great again. President Donald Trump. Rah, rah, huh? I guess America. Fuck yeah. Anyway, look, why would a president take to social media and post all of this shit? It almost takes damn near long enough to read this shit as the halftime show itself. Like, why would he? Look, are you just sitting around getting pissed? Let me go back to the box. I'm asking to Trump. Is he just sitting around just getting angry? I don't get it. I don't see that Tony guy in here, but we'll continue on. I was looking for him because he mentioned he wanted to come up. We'll go to Selena. Selena Don? Good evening, Selena. This is exactly what I was saying he does. Well, yeah. Selena, good evening. Selena Don, are you there? Okay, apparently we got a caller that's either stepped away, but we'll move on. Continuing on with the program. By the way, help your boy out with the TikTok cap, hat, mustache, goal. Show the program some love. Real quick before we continue on, I do want to point out a super chat. That wasn't because of their skin color. It's their song and dancer. Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't know. To call Bad Bunny's dancing disgusting, you're getting it from a 79-year-old dude. I mean, what does he think he is, a retiring John Travolta? If John Travolta of Saturday Night Fever fame criticized Bad Bunny's dancing, I can respect that. John Travolta's 70 plus. Trump? Trump? Really? You gonna criticize somebody's dancing? You dance everywhere and it looks crazy. I don't know. That was a bit rough. I don't know where he's coming from with that, but we'll continue on. Pro-life advocate. Okay, there's Spanish in here. I can't look. I don't know what you're saying there, alter ego. So I can read it because I had 3 years of Spanish, but it's been a long time. So the point is, Bad Bunny is a singer and dancer. Trump is not. True. That is true. Bad Bunny's not only a singer and dancer, though. He has won a lot of Grammys. He has a huge, huge following. So he's not just a singer and dancer. He's a singer and dancer that a lot of the world likes. So the idea that he's not good at what he does is crazy. Maybe Trump is just a bad judge of real talent. I didn't know anything about Bad Bunny. But when you see somebody that has, billions of views, they must be fucking good. Trump watched the Super Bowl, but didn't watch Turning Point USA. He didn't watch that? All of that shit he's talking, he didn't watch that? Really? Well, listen, Trump was going to say something negative about Bad Bunny, whether he watched Bad Bunny or not. He was going to say something about him anyway. That was the plan. Like I said, would you have been, I think we would have been more surprised if he didn't say anything negative about the show. Jeremy, most streamed artist in the world, says none of you. Yeah, you don't get to that level by lacking talent. Jeremy, good evening.
Hello, Tim. It's good to see you. You should have let me up. You should have let me debate Mo Better or Gangster Grandma. I would have destroyed them.
What did you hear them say that you disagreed with? I'm assuming everything, but what did you hear them say that you
a lot of things. And here's the thing. I don't have to be MAGA in order or to know that they're wrong about so many things. Number one, before Mexico was Mexico, it wasn't Mexico. It was a place that didn't speak Spanish. Spanish comes from Spain. Both English and Spanish are European languages. The whole idea that we're so cruel because we conquered people that was already conquered by a different empire is absolutely stupid and ridiculous. Not only that, but if you know anything about the Native Americans, they have stolen land from each other for thousands of years. Okay, they do believe in borders. They always have. That's why there are certain territorial disputes. There was even one Native American alliance that slogan was literally "Join or be destroyed." I can't remember the exact one that it was. Not, but it was.
Well, let me say something first of all. When you talk about before we acquired Mexico, it wasn't Mexico and they didn't speak Spanish. If I'm correct, the Spanish just went over there, conquered the land, and forced their language upon them. Just like there's a lot of Native Americans in this country that speak English. They're the same people. They just had a new language and custom forced upon them. The Native Americans were not speaking English before the English arrived here. So those are the same people. They just have had their evolution process fucked with.
No, you're not wrong. And that's my point. Every country in the world has done this. And every people in the world has done this. There are very few people in the world that have not just simply conquered for the conquering's sake. And usually those are island people that haven't done that because there's no one else to conquer because they're on small little the Sentinel Island people. That's the only reason why they don't conquer each other because they're all already so small. They're already one people.
Yeah, and I see in the comments, none of your business is saying, but that doesn't make it right. And that's true. It doesn't make it right. But the point I was making with the other callers is, even though it's not right, it's not right to make it sound like the white man or the white English came here and they're the only ones that's done it. But the point is, that's really been the way the planet has evolved. There's people been conquering others, colonizing their land and stealing it from them. That ain't something that's unique to America where the white guys came here and did it to the natives and all. No, it happened like I mentioned, African colonies in Africa have done that to each other over there too.
Yeah, not only that, look at the Arab slave trade. When people talk about all the crimes committed by white people against blacks, the Arabs were thousands of times worse. But nobody ever talks about them because Islam's a protected class, and Arabs are the primary practicers of Islam, even though Islam's not a race. So you're not allowed to say the bad things about Arabs.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you now this halftime show. You have any opinions on it? Did you see this?
I watched the game. I just decided I don't like Bad Bunny, and not because I really care about his political opinions. There are all sorts of dumb celebrities that have dumb opinions that I just don't care. But mostly because I don't care for his music. So I just decided to put on my own music while it played in the background.
So you didn't watch Turning Point either, then?
Nah, didn't feel like it.
Okay, fair enough. So you didn't play the political game. You just were not a fan of the artist.
Nah, man. I'm putting on Breaking Benjamin, 3 Days Grace, 9 Inch Nails, Apocalyptica, all those bands. The divorced dad rock flows through me. I'll tell you that right now.
I gotta say, those sound like artists that if they perform the halftime show, I probably wouldn't watch it either. So everybody got their own. Because I'm a disco house music kind of guy, so I like fast shit. I did watch it. Like I said, I had never heard of this guy before all of the controversy happened.
Neither did I.
Yeah.
Neither did I. I didn't know who the fuck this guy was either. Now, I know a lot of people who are DJs who like house music, so I started getting into some of that. I'll say this. If you're into house music, you probably wouldn't like any of the bands I just mentioned. Not because they're slow. They're not slow at all. But because they're hard rock and heavy metal. So that's probably not. Yeah. You want to dance. These aren't dance bands. Well, these are mosh pit bands. But anyway.
Yeah, I've been listening. I've been a house music. Yeah, I've been a house
What's
music
your-
fan since I was 10. So listen, I'm from Chicago. You don't come from Chicago and not like at least a little bit of house music, but I was really deep into it. But at the same time, with the Bad Bunny performance, I think he owes Trump a bit of gratitude. Now he was already huge, but Trump certainly has made him bigger. Because people like me who had no interest, I'm driving to work today listening to one of his songs from the show that I thought sounded pretty good. So Trump has gained this guy some fans.
Yeah, well, I guess so. See, the thing is, there's an old rule in the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene where he says, cultivate attention at all costs. That's what is unseen counts for nothing. Now, it is kind of going back to the old rule, all attention is good attention, which I don't completely buy, because if you get attention for being a pedo, well, you better run.
Yeah. So do you agree with the notion that America, the primary language is English, and they should have a performer that speaks English?
American. I love how you were about to say speaks American.
Yeah. Well, we believe we own every goddamn thing. But do you believe that they should have performers that speak English?
Yeah, I think so. Now, I wouldn't mind like a bilingual performance where like it's English in one half, Spanish in another, or some other language. You know, like as long as like if you can understand what the lyrics are, and you know.
What about subtitles? What about subtitles? Perhaps they could have had a subtitles below it.
Gen Alpha doesn't fucking read. What are you talking about? they just chat GPT and have chat GPT say it out loud to them.
Oh my.
But let's be so for real here for a second. Oh, by the way, I did want to address as Mike in the comments. Mike, if you really think I'm getting worse every day, come and debate me sometime. I'm always inviting you. You never show up. What's wrong with me? Huh?
And before you continue, I want to read a couple comments. Austin Nash says, I guess this says the bullshit Trump post about the Obamas makes me think about the movie Pee-wee's Big Adventure. He says, I don't make monkeys, I just train them. This is in line with the Obamas being trained monkeys. And another one, Me Too says, are you slow? We talk about the chattel slavery more often because it happened here in USA. You have been in this country long enough to know better. Jeremy, he's addressing you. Look, the Obamas is monkeys, and we'll talk. We'll move on from Bad Bunny. This post, joke or racist? What do you say?
Joke made in poor taste. So poorly thought out joke, an unfunny joke,
but not racist.
Not racist.
So let's say you. Now I know you're what, Colombian or something.
Yeah, I'm Colombian.
Okay, but you probably can pass as white, right?
Yeah, I can pass as Southern European, yeah.
Okay, so what would stop you, or let's say an actual white guy, actual European, genuine European, what would stop one of them from posting a picture of, say, me as an ape and say it's a joke as well? Should we normalize that? Because in America, traditionally, drawing, sketching, suggesting that African Americans or people of color are primates has been traditionally accepted as a racial trope. Should we, since Trump has done it and is now considered as a joke, should we normalize allowing it to happen for the sake of comedy?
Honestly, I think we should. Here's the thing. In a perfect world, I would actually say yes. Because I think that if you end up making something so normal that everyone takes it as a joke, you end up in a world where like everything bounces off of people and actual racism becomes just unempowered.
I don't think there's ever a time when racism will lose its power. Because people aren't going to just ignore racism. No matter, I don't care. Under no circumstance are you going to get a bunch of people to ignore racism in sync.
I know, and that's the thing. I said in a perfect world, but we don't live in a perfect world. And here's the thing. I think that this was in poor taste. I think a better thing that could have been done with the Obamas to show that there are a bunch of trained idiots who do whatever they're told by powers like Mossad and whatever, which because let's be honest, they probably are. To make them into seals instead of monkeys. Barking, clapping seals. You know what I mean? Because
I get the trained seals analogy, but you're talking about Mossad over in Israel. I mean, they actually named locations in that country after Trump. Do you see him as a trained seal or something as well?
I think he is now. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. Like, you know, like, here's the thing. I do not worship at the feet of anyone but Christ. Like, when I'm not even a Christian, I'm agnostic. Although I kind of do hope Christianity is true. That would be nice. But I will never worship at the feet of any man. And I don't want anyone to ever worship at my feet because I'm fallible. Okay. And everyone you know is fallible. And so for me, this idea that Trump is invincible and MAGA really can be a cult at times. Now, that's not a bipartisan thing. There are plenty of people who will look at the left, and like there are people who watch Hassan Piker, and because he's handsome, they won't criticize him. You know, I don't know if you know who that is.
No, I don't.
But he's a very, very popular Twitch streamer. On the left, he's a socialist.
Yeah, I have no. Yeah, but that's not. Look, you got folks who support Trump saying things like they'll take a bullet for him. I mean, that's much different. Now, I know there are people who idolize individuals on the left. There are people who love Obama, but the left do tend to criticize their people. I mean, Tim Scott suggested that Trump's post was the most racist thing he's seen from the White House. Now, the most racist thing kind of makes it sound like he's seen other racist stuff. This just happens to be more. So his choice of wording is concerning. But when Tim Scott said that, folks on the right are now demanding Tim Scott step down. They're actually attacking him, calling him a rhino and stuff. That's the only thing he's done. He was in good standing with MAGA. Huh?
But the left does that all the time too when someone's not far left enough. Or they're not in lockstep.
Give me an example. Give me an example.
Okay, so what was it? I think Bernie when he didn't get when he got his nomination stolen from him by the Clintons. You know, remember that? And then when
that's if you believe somebody cheat. Wait, you're comparing the belief that the Clintons stole the election from Bernie Sanders to simply pointing out what Trump posted. Those are like night and day. They believe the Clintons stole the election from him.
But hold on. Do you see how vicious the left was to Bernie when he was hesitant to endorse Hillary, and then all of a sudden he got immediately on Hillary's side once all of a sudden, and like people like Cenk Uygur and the Young Turks and other people on the left were all coming after him.
But why does that surprise you? Bernie Sanders is not a Democrat. He's not. So the idea that traditional leftists were not supporting, just like traditional folks on the right originally were not supporting Trump either, because Trump is not a conservative. So it has nothing to do with a cult follower or anything. You're running for a party that you're not a member of.
Yeah, but I'm saying, he joined the party because he thought it was the closest. It was the largest party that aligned with his beliefs.
He joined the party. He joined the party just like Trump did because he needed access to the funding. He needed access to the DNC funds just like Trump needed access to the RNC funding. Right. Yeah, I mean, so you should be able to understand why folks like Nancy Pelosi and Hillary Clinton and other leaders of the Republican Party didn't favor Bernie Sanders because you're not one of the party. Just like when Trump tried to join, the Romneys, the Bushes, the Mitch McConnells at the time, the leaders of the Republican Party didn't favor him. You're not one of us, and you're running as one of us. So neither one of them like
saying, yeah, but I think you missed the point I was trying to say. The point I was trying to make was that it is not a partisan thing to have people who are cultish in any group. Now, MAGA is especially cultish the way they behave, but it is not a partisan thing. There are plenty of people on both sides that do this. My belief here is that at the end of the day, what Trump posted wasn't truly racist. Now, was it racially insensitive? Absolutely. Well, racially insensitive just means kind of like you didn't really think it through very well.
You really think a guy that's damn near 80 years old who came up during the time when they had African Americans portrayed as monkeys on cartoons and shit, cereal bar. You're gonna tell me that guy didn't think it through? I mean, he knows that portraying a black person as an ape has been considered a racial trope. I know. He's 80. I'm certain he knows that.
Well, maybe he did. We can't read his mind, but I like to look at it and hold on. We can't read his mind, but that goes both ways. And I would say that I just don't see true malice in here. I don't. You see, there's an old phrase, never attribute to malice what can be explained by incompetence.
How about this? Denkel says he wants to know, when have you seen actual racism? He says since everybody's lying about it, give me some examples of where you see an actual racism.
Oh, there are plenty of instances. Says, do you want like a real life example, or do you want an internet example where I've seen people be actually racist?
Just give me an example, wherever you want to come from it. Wherever you want to come with it from.
There is a YouTube channel that's no longer up, but has their own website called Love, Life, and Anarchy, and they created an entire video called The Jewish Question. You can see where this is already going, can't you? And
what about towards African Americans?
Oh, I've seen plenty of that too. Like I've seen, like, one of my best friend is half black, and we were hanging out in one of the big cities that I live in and live nearby in Wisconsin. I'm not going to say which. You already know which one it is because I've DM'd you that. And we were hanging out, and someone just told him to get the F off the street, you stupid N-word.
Wow. Okay. I mean, but here, I guess the point I want to make is this. You can be, because this is the only time it does seem like a lot of folks can recognize racism when somebody come out and flat out use the N-word. All the other racial tropes get denied. I mean, does it really take for somebody to actually say the N-word or come out and say, I don't like you? I mean, because there's a lot of other ways to be racist that don't involve, that's like at the top, using the N-word, something. I mean, that's like, remove all doubt racism.
Like trying to be sly, when someone's trying to be slick. Is that what you mean? Like when someone's trying to like?
Yeah, give me some ways that are not so out in the open, like posting a photo of somebody as a monkey, for instance.
Okay, so I had another friend. He's actually on this app. His name is K Blitz. I can say his name because he's a musical artist. He's from Canada, and there's a donut shop / coffee shop called Tim Hortons. It's very popular up there. You might have heard of it. Anyways, he was in a Tim Hortons, and the what's it called? The Indian people behind the counter refused to take his very clearly Canadian money. And they they said, well, we just don't need you around. We just don't think it's good for you to be around here. They wouldn't give him an exact reason, but in broken English, they basically told him your money's no good here. Even though in Canadian law, every single dollar printed is legal tender that you can and have to accept. Yeah, and they weren't outright racist, but we know what they were doing.
Okay. And he said he was talking about a national incident, not anecdotal. But have you ever seen a politician towards African Americans ever do anything racist?
Yes, Joe Biden. Remember, poor kids are just as smart as white kids. Remember that?
I remember it. I don't get how you guys can clearly see Joe Biden. Vote for me and you ain't black. My kid's growing up in a racial jungle. You can see all that racism. Meanwhile, the other side is throwing up complete Roman salutes. Well, he on the spectrum. He got autism. I mean, like,
no. I'm more than willing to say that was fucking suspicious as fuck.
Suspicious.
I'm more than willing to say
suspicious. He had everything but a swastika on his chest. I mean, then you got Tom Homan is throwing up a Roman salute. They throwing up straight up salutes.
Wait. Tom Homan did that?
Yeah, just Google it. Yeah, just Google it. Tom Homan threw the salute up. Elon Musk has talked about white guys unifying together, went to Germany and told him to stop apologizing for what happened in the past. I mean, that dude, Elon Musk, is probably one of the biggest characters of that shit. But listen, I think
here's the thing. I don't agree with the Roman salute. That's wrong. That was pretty fucked up. But I do think that when he said like the thing about Germans no longer feeling guilty forever about something that they weren't alive to even do, I do understand that to a large extent.
But why the hell are you over here? You don't even live in Germany. Why are you going and telling them to stop apologizing for the Holocaust? What the fuck are you doing? Why are you over here doing that?
Because here's the thing. I would say the same thing to any foreign nation where the native people, even if they were black. Like, I don't consider some black guy from, I don't know, fucking Somalia to be responsible for enslaving my ancestors like 150 years ago.
Do you consider guys from Somalia to be garbage like the president suggested?
No, but their country sucks.
We got kids that go to school and get shot and never come home. Does our country suck?
Some parts
right then.
a little bit.
So that ain't a factor then.
Hold on. You can't compare small areas of the ghetto, where for the most part, a lot of it's just in need of extra policing, and you still have a modern technology. You have a mostly functioning society versus a complete lack of a government. There is no.
I actually think you can compare it because we're in position where we can do something about it and are deliberately choosing not to. The folks in Somalia are being oppressed by factions and terrorists and shit. They can't. Their backs are against the wall. We know we can stop students from getting shot up in schools and stop home. We could actually do something about it, and we're choosing not to. So we're deliberately letting it happen. So I think that's worse than Somalia because they can't make what you're talking about. We can. And we're like, well, no, I would rather protect gun ownership, or I would rather let Jesus handle the deaths of these kids. Thoughts and prayers. We're choosing not to do anything about it. Jeremy, I do got to move it on, though, for time. You guys, it's always a pleasure talking to you. Thanks for coming through.
Thank you very much for having me, Tim. Have a good night.
Anytime. You take care. How you feel about How you feel about Compton gangs getting together and confronting ICE officers? Will NWA get involved? Probably not. Unless they donate money behind the scenes. But under the Trump administration, if gangs in Compton are deliberately organizing challenges to ICE, and some millionaire like Dr. Dre or the Trump administration is just going to charge you with conspiracy. You can't fuck with that. You can't get involved in that. I mean, if they're doing, because what they're pretty much admitting that they're going to be obstructing law enforcement. I get it. I get 100% why people want to do it. ICE is obviously breaking the law and doing a lot of things that are inhumane, particularly in Minneapolis. I get why you would want to do it. But under the Trump administration, he is going to favor allowing ICE to act in inhumane ways, and he will charge you with obstruction if you get in the way of it. And he would just also flood Compton with thousands of more agents, and the people are ultimately going to be the ones that get victimized by that shit, which is exactly what happened in Minneapolis. He didn't like the governor. He don't like Mayor Fry of Minneapolis. And when they started saying, we're not going to work with your agents, then he just to show of force, then want me to flood your area with ICE agents and tell them to do whatever the fuck they want to do and let them know they got immunity while they doing it. And then, of course, that's why you get stuff like Renee Nicole Good, and you get folks like Alex Preddy, because the people are being mistreated. They start protesting, speaking back, and then ICE just takes it to the next level and end up killing somebody. That's what would happen in Compton. So, yeah, if you're a wealthy guy like Ice Cube or somebody, you can't get involved in that. It's just going to cause you a lot of problems down the line, to be honest with you. We told y'all to vote for the black woman. We not getting in the streets for y'all. I hear a lot of people saying that, blacks are going to sit this one out. I don't think you're going to be able to sit it out for long. I'm just telling you, hear about the Haitians and the Somalis. A lot of us look just like them people. They use deadly force. They just got beat by deadlier force. No. You're dealing with a police force that is escalating shit, going in people's properties without warrants, not answering court orders and shit like that. If you went down people say, well, all you got to do is comply with law enforcement and this wouldn't happen. By the way, tap the screen, get the likes up to 80,000. Take the next caller at that point. And if you don't know, now you do. This program is MAGA friendly. Liberals are welcome as well. Our comments go left of Bernie Sanders, so I'm having dinner with Q. This is uncensored programming, folks. You can be critical of anybody on the program, including yours truly. We're here most weekdays, so if you favorite what you're watching, you happen to be watching us currently on Instagram, TikTok, or Substack. We're live on Substack now. Feel free to follow the program. If you're watching us on YouTube, give us a sub. How do you call in? Says empty rattle cans. Handsome Liberal on all platforms. So we take callers on Substack, Instagram, and TikTok. YouTube doesn't allow a call-in feature, at least that I'm aware of. So you can call in on Substack, TikTok, or Instagram. Same name across all platforms. Can't we all just get along? Last guy that was found dead in his own swimming pool. We don't care about racism, and I can prove it. That's the dumbest thing. We do care about. Well, you may not care about racism if you don't have a likelihood of being victimized by it. I don't care about cow tipping. I don't own any cows. So we don't care about race. Let me go back to the box. We'll continue on with Travelman. Good evening, Travelman. Welcome to the show. Say what you want about Kamala. What did that say? Say what you want about Kamala Harris. She's not a pedophile like the other guy. Yikes, me too. My last guest didn't come up, so we will continue to move on with the handsome conservative. Good evening, handsome conservative. The Super Bowl, not for them idiots. MAGA, says Jazzy Smith. Handsome conservative, did you watch the halftime show?
Hold on a second. I got something to say here. Most of your people on this platform are Democrats, right? I mean, most of them are. I see you bring up a lot of Democrats, yes?
Yeah, most of the people that call in on YouTube, most of the viewers, I believe there's a lot of, there's probably more MAGA, but go ahead.
All right. I cannot keep funding the handsome liberal all on my own, all right? This is one of your people, and I don't mean that racially, okay? Y'all need to send some hearts or some hats, drop a cap. I mean, my God, people, reach into your Democratic pockets and start giving. What the fuck?
I appreciate the sentiment. I do get probably a lot more love from MAGA. I don't know why. I don't know, but thank you. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. And by the way, he is correct. Help your boy out with the hat, mustache go, and the TikTok go. That would be kind of you. So did you see the halftime show?
I'm just saying, man, after Gangster Grandma mopped the floor with you, okay? I didn't see one hat, one galaxy, nothing. These some poor-ass people. You need better friends. Come to the Republican side. We'll take care of you.
Okay. You got me feeling like Charlie Kirk. By the way, did you hear what have you heard any of the videos from Candace Owens talking about Charlie Kirk was doing it for the money and all that? Did you hear any of that?
I did not.
Man.
I have stopped listening to Candace Owens.
Say that again?
I've stopped listening to Candace Owens because she's gotten a little out there for me.
Well, she's suggesting that Charlie Kirk got it. A lot of what Charlie Kirk was doing, and particularly his wife. I wish I could play it. It's like 17 minutes long, and she's really condemning Erica. Her and Erica have no love between them. I know they met. And
that's because she's banging the vice president.
So you actually believe that? Erica Kirk and J.D. Vance, you believe that?
Oh, man, there is nothing more evil in this world than a woman with an attitude. And that woman is banging the power of the second most powerful person in the world. I wouldn't be surprised if she wasn't behind Charlie's death.
Erica Kirk.
That's what I said.
And
women are evil, dude. Women are straight up Kamala Harris type evil. All right. Just evil.
What has Kamala Harris did to get the? What, Kamala Harris ain't done anything evil. She's been a nice lady.
She'd been a nice lady. She wouldn't have run for president after she lost her first time of running for president.
Why not? Trump lost and he ran again.
Trump lost, but we, as Americans, if you give us a woman to vote for or a man to vote for, what has America always voted for?
The man. So, what are you suggesting? We're a sexist country?
Of course we're a sexist country, and I'm an asshole. What's the yes, we are a sexist country.
Are you one of those individuals that believe women should not lead?
I do not believe women should lead. Look, you want to be a doctor, be a doctor. You want to be in an office somewhere in a higher position, that's fine too. But running the country, hell no.
Women,
and I don't care if she's black or white. Don't get me wrong, because I felt the same way about what was her name? Clinton, Miss Clinton.
What about Nick? So Nikki Haley couldn't do it, huh?
No.
But what about at the gubernatorial level? I mean, Nikki Haley was a governor, and she ran South Carolina okay.
Yeah. You know what? I'm okay with you being a governor. I'm not okay with you having the button to launch all nukes. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen.
What's so challenging about a woman doing that? Women do all sorts of high-level stress jobs every day. Why can't a woman do it?
I guess in today's day and age, they haven't proven to me that they can do that.
Who's proving to you that they can't? I mean, you've had all kinds of. We got Bush that started an unnecessary war, many suggest costing the lives of as many as 1 million people. He's a man.
Every president has started. Every president that I can think of has started a war somewhere.
So why not put a woman in there? She might do a better job than that.
No. You can't convince me of that. No, I'm sorry, man. I just can't. I can't. You know what? I could be wrong. You could be right. But from where I'm standing, with all due respect, hell to the no.
What are you, just an old dog refusing to hear about a new trick? I mean, like.
Yes. I am an old dog that will bite your ass. I am not voting for a woman. Fuck that shit. I'm just not going to do it.
How about this? You got a conservative woman running against a liberal black man.
I'll sit it out.
When I thought about it, I'm like, God damn it, I just left the door wide open for him to escape this one. Okay, so you...
I sit it out. Now, if it was a black Republican running against a woman, I'd vote for the black Republican.
And this is just all
not voting for it.
This is just all because he happens to have a penis. That's all it takes. Just a penis. That's all you need.
Right. That's right. If you can lean forward with your kickstand, man, you're all right with me. We'll put you in the office.
I don't get this. You know, the crazy thing is, I do believe most of this attitude comes from your side, from the right. I mean, which leads me to be confused as to why so many women voted for Republicans. Like, you see, they don't even want you to have certain jobs.
You know what's funny is you're wrong. The funny part is you're really wrong.
Tell me how.
Do you have any idea how many men live with Democratic women and pretend to be Democrat just because they love their woman, agree to whatever they want them to agree to, and still go vote Republican? We're getting votes from all sides.
But you know what that tells me, though?
From all sides.
You know what that tells me, though? That tells me that Democrat
wants peace.
That tells me that Democrat women have good pussy. You're willing to put your politics on the line to get a piece of that ass. That tells me that Democrat women are good in bed. You sound like you need to talk to gangster grandma.
He still gets to vote his way, and he still gets some ass.
Yeah, but I'll tell you something. There's a whole. I also believe that works in reverse. And conservative. I believe that there's a whole lot of women that have far right husbands, and they don't get to see what they do in the ballot box either. Certainly with the pro-life, pro-choice movement. Yeah, I believe there's a lot of conservative wives that are voting Democrat.
Absolutely, I agree with you. But see, we're not dogging those women for voting Democrat.
Because you don't know about it.
We're dogging me for saying that there are men that are with Democratic women that still vote Republican.
Yeah.
We're not dogging the women that are with Republicans voting Democrat.
Yeah, you would. You're not
from both sides.
You're not dogging the women because you don't know they're voting. They're doing it in secret. If Republican men found out that their wives are voting for Kamala Harris, they would dog them. I mean, I'm not going to go this far with it, but there is a term called N-word lover. A lot of folks, a lot of conservative men in the past didn't like when their women would sympathize with African-American issues and shit like that. I know a lot of conservative men.
Well, look,
go ahead.
I'm the first to agree with you. I think we personally should just put them back in the kitchen and they can make us a sandwich. We'll go take care of the world.
What?
I'm with you.
What the hell? I didn't say no shit like that. I don't agree with that. That sounds like Gen X talking. Why do y'all got an issue?
Okay, listen, Bad Bunny. Can we talk about Bad Bunny?
Okay,
because
sure.
Because everybody knows I don't think women should.
And by the way, I got a guest that's been asking me, are you single or are you a married man?
I've been married twice, so when I talk about the level of evil, I have lived through it. I have 3 kids. I have 3 ex-wives and 1 ex-fiance. So trust me, when I talk about Satan, I know, I understand. I am a survivor. Okay.
All right. Well, at least I know where it's coming from. That puts it in perspective. Okay. As Charlie Kirk supporters will say, that's the context of it. I get the context now. I understand that. So, but that's your personal experience. And look, perception is reality. Okay, Bad Bunny. Did you see the show?
Okay. First of all, no, I did not see the show. Second of all, to your comment earlier on YouTube, I don't like the halftime shows. When I watch football, I want to see football. That's it. I don't want to see somebody getting up there and singing and dancing. I know it's a thing, but I actually like the game.
So what would you prefer? Just like analysis during a halftime show or something?
Yeah, man, give me more football. Give me something to do with the game. I'm there to watch the game. That's just me. Now, as for Bad Bunny, I'm going to be straight honest with you. I don't know if he's got any talent or not. It doesn't take talent these days to become famous. It just takes views. Okay? But I will say this. I can understand why people would be upset that he wasn't singing in English in America, where English is the national language, whether Democrats want to admit it or not. It is the language today. Maybe not 150 years ago, but today it is.
How about this? You support capitalism, right? You're a capitalist, right?
Of sorts, yes.
Okay. One of the fastest growing audiences for football is coming from Latin America. And what about the idea that we want to bring more of them folks to the game? So we're going to give them, at least out of a 2-3 hour game, we're going to give them a 15-minute show. So maybe more of them will tune in just to bring more of them. Can you see the business decision in it?
I see the business decision in it, but as an American citizen, okay, and I honestly, I don't know if the guy's good or not. But as an American citizen,
he's the most streamed artist. He's the most streamed artist in the world. Just want to make sure you know that.
You're talking to somebody who likes Kid Rock, AC/DC, Cinderella. I mean, come on, dude. Like I'm gonna know who hip hop rabbit is. I don't fucking know him.
No, I get that. I didn't know who he was either. So I'm not a Bad Bunny fan, but I will say this. If somebody tells you this person got, double-digit Grammys and they're the most streamed artists in the world, you gotta assume they're talented.
The Grammys are handed out by people who are not normal.
Then why don't you or I got double-digit Grammys and millions of people watching us?
Well, 1, I'm an asshole. That's why. And 2, you should have double digits.
Wow.
In fact, let's just put that out there. I would rather see you at the halftime show than I would Bad Rabbit or whatever, whatever his fucking name is.
Well, I can't dance. I dance. I probably dance just a hair better than President Trump.
No. Me and you will get together, man. We'll hop on that stage and we will turn the Trump up. We will just, you know what I'm saying.
So what the hell we gonna be?
It's like Trump.
We're gonna be the village people representing the LGBTQ community or something. That don't sound right. No, listen,
dude. We're gonna be getting jiggy with it.
I don't want to do that. I'll go with Bad Bunny, but President Trump takes to social media and just tears Bad Bunny a new one. What the fuck is that about?
I do do not know. I do not. I don't even think he knows who Bad Bunny really is. I think he saw the name on a tweet or something on Truth Social.
So what, just bashing for the sake of bashing?
Are you surprised? Trump does that. I've admitted that. I've admitted 1,000 times that Trump does that. That's one of his things. If it can get him a vote or it can get him to be talked about, to be relevant another day, he's going to do it.
Whatever happened to just give, and by the way, Dencal says he's been one of the biggest donors to the program. That is true, Dencal. Absolutely true. Thank you. But what about...
I'm sorry, Dencal. I apologize. You do give. My bad.
But okay, and yeah, he certainly does. But what about, you want to be relevant as opposed to constantly attacking every damn body and get off my line? Just fix the damn economy. That would make you relevant.
I agree. And I wish President Trump would do that, just like I wish Obama would have done that, and I wish Bush would have done that, and I wish Reagan would have done that. I agree. I would love to have a politician do their job, and that would be amazing. Democrat or Republican.
So in regards to a politician doing their job, what if you had to give President Trump a letter grade? He's a year into his term. He's been president now for 5 years. A, B, C, D, or F like we got in high school. What letter grade you giving him this far in?
Dude. Okay.
Sound like Bill and Ted.
I voted for him the first time because I liked the shared economy that he was under. Okay. I didn't vote for him this time. I would give him a C. I would give him a C. I'd give him a C because my ass is poor, and unlike some Democrats, I want my motherfucking stimulus check.
I don't think you're going to get that.
To give me that $2,000. I'm not turning that shit down. You're an idiot if you do.
No, I wouldn't turn it down either. I don't think you're going to get it under Trump. I think it was just, as you say, him doing things to be relevant. I think he just threw that out there to get...
dream.
Yeah, I think he just threw that shit out there to be relevant, as you're talking about. But I don't think you're going to see that under the Trump administration.
That's right. I'm American. My vote is for sale.
Well, let's both hope that and it will be signed by President Trump. He don't have his signature on it if it comes out, but we can hope for that. I got to move it on, though, conservative. Thank you for the sales pitch. Thank you for coming through as always. It's always a pleasure talking to you, man.
All right. I'm going to go ahead real quick, and I'm going to hop on YouTube, and I'm going to send you some money because, damn it, somebody got to pay you, okay? What Gangster Grandma did to you was vile. It was just vile. I'm so sorry, man.
Gangster Grandma is like literally rubbing your dick on sandpaper. She don't take no shit. I get it. Conservative.
Maybe she like white chocolate. I don't know.
I don't know what that is. I gotta go. Thank you. All right, moving on with the program. By the way, certainly, like I said, folks, we are currently live on Substack, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. If you're following us on Substack, TikTok, or Instagram, it would be something I would give you thanks and praise for. And certainly on YouTube, give your boy a sub as well. And by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, smash that like button. Helps out the algorithm. I mean, we got, 1,000 plus. Smash that like button. Certainly for my YouTubers, get the likes up. It helps out the algorithm. We're going to go over to Instagram. Bring up Dencal, since he was being called out. I'll see if it brings him up. He brings controversy and engagement. He is a troll. Yeah, that is true. I don't know. For some reason, Instagram plays games. Okay, there we go. All right, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so did you catch the halftime show?
I did watch it.
And your opinion?
What I would say about it is, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. I don't know if you're breaking up. I can hear you.
Two platforms, I think I'm...
Yeah, Denka, I may have to move on. You got some kind of issue going on over there. All right. Don't know what's happening with them, but we'll move it on. And we'll go back. It's not loud and clear since MAGA Reacts. Speaking of which, we'll go over to MAGA Reacts. Good evening. Welcome to the program. Dencal, if you come back through, we'll bring you back up, but don't know what happened there. You got the dark video portion, but I didn't get and my camera turned around. Okay, MAGA Reacts, good evening.
I'm kind of mad at you. All that work I did to set up Zoom, and you still haven't used it. It will solve all your fucking problems. And it's so easy to use.
I'm a busy man.
Help you.
Okay, I'm a busy man. I'll talk to you on the outside, but there's a reason behind it. We'll talk about it, but there's a reason. Getting into the actual topic, though, did you catch the halftime show?
I tried watching it, man. I gave it a legit chance. I don't like it. I like Bad Bunny. I loved him in the Adam Sandler movie. I love him on SNL. I watched all kind of shit that he's in. A bunch of skits, a bunch of videos. He's an entertaining guy, but this halftime show, bro, I mean, I don't speak fucking Spanish.
I mean, listen.
I'm one of those guys that dances to the words. It's been a problem all my life. I don't dance to the beat. I dance to the fucking words.
How the hell do you dance to the words? I've never heard that before. But I appreciate your assessment on that. Is fair. I mean, you're making it clear that you like his work in other areas. You just don't. I don't speak Spanish either, but the beat has an international flair to it. I mean, I've listened because a lot of folks did not understand Kendrick Lamar. They not like us from last year, but the beat.
That's because the audio was fucked up, though. Kendrick's show, for half of us, the audio was fucked up. I couldn't understand a word he was saying either. I turned him all the way up. I couldn't hear shit.
I mean, to be honest with you can go to an actual concert, and sometimes the acoustics are bad, but you can still hear the beat, the bass, and all that, and still dance to it. So I don't know.
No, it sounded like mumbling with him on the halftime show. It was a problem for half the people watching it. I was watching on YouTube, YouTube TV, not YouTube.
Yeah.
And it was like he was mumbling the entire song, and it was really bad. And then I watched it again later on a different platform, and it sounded great. And I was like, oh, so that was the problem. It wasn't. People just couldn't literally hear him.
So do you agree with? I guess MAGA. Well, you are MAGA yourself, but do you agree with the rest of MAGA that football is the biggest sport in America, and the Super Bowl is the biggest platform we have, most watched television event we have. That the halftime show should be in English.
I mean, mostly. I mean, what percentage of this country speaks Spanish? 20%? How about we do it like that? 20% of the show in Spanish, the rest in English.
That's a good question. I've had people that number is very. I mean, Alexa, what percentage of Americans speak Spanish?
I mean, we've had Shakira, we've had J-Lo, we've had all these people mix in Spanish in the show, and there's never been a problem.
Broader estimates suggest around 18% of the population.
Not many. Alexa, stop. She said 13% at home, about 18% broader. So it's not a lot. Somebody in the comments said 80%. Now Alexa says 13 to 18%. I would have thought it was more than that.
Like I said, we had Shakira, we had J-Lo, we had Gloria Estefan, we had Enrique Iglesias. We've had a bunch of Spanish speakers in the halftime show, and it's never been an issue before. Everybody loves a little bit of Spanish. We had Pitbull. We had a bunch of people, and it's never been a problem. This show was entirely in Spanish, except for the little Gaga part, which I don't know what the fuck she was singing. She didn't sound like her, and it didn't sound good.
I didn't favor Lady Gaga, and the reason why, I'm a big Lady Gaga fan. I like her music. I didn't favor her because she don't come across as somebody who is used to singing over those type of beats, like a Gloria Estefan type. She don't seem like she's the kind of person that Lady Gaga just didn't fit the rhythm to me. I mean,
that's what we hate. We hate the pandering.
What?
We hate the pandering. We hate her being on the Spanish song just to pander to Spanish speakers instead of just doing what she's good at.
But I understand that. This is what I was telling Handsome Conservative, is that it's a business decision in this too. It ain't just to appeal to your entertainment choices. They're bringing in a new audience. The same way the NFL continues to have games in England. Folks could also be pissed and say, why the hell are you having games on TV at 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning on Sundays? It's America. Televise the games from America. No, they're trying to broaden the audience.
That's fine. And they should have done that by having him featured with someone else that speaks English. I mean, like, mix in a little bit of Spanish. You keep it balanced. Don't piss off the 90% of your audience just to get 2% more from overseas.
Yeah, I see Meg W in the comments says she does complain about the games in England. Well, I mean, if it's your team, you got to get up at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. But they're trying to broaden their audience. Now, your point is taken, MAGA, where you say it should have been a collab so you had English folks would. But I'm going to tell you, when you got Bad Bunny, not only being on video and photos of him wearing dresses and shit, but he's been openly critical of President Trump. I'm going to submit to you that he could have did a collab with Kid Rock and Trump would have still hated him. I mean, the guy don't like Trump. That's all you need. You could speak perfect English. Once you don't like Trump, Trump's going to criticize you, and therefore MAGA's not going to like you either.
Look, Tim, I rarely bring up Trump when we're talking about shit, and you seem to always.
And I don't get it. Of course, your fucking name is MAGA Reacts, but you.
I know. What does this have? This has to do with America and the language we speak and what's entertaining. You know, this is the NFL. This isn't, foreign policy. You know, what's good for. I mean, if this was like the World Cup. Or if this was the World Cup, I wouldn't give a fuck. If this was the Olympics, don't give a fuck. That's something for the whole world. You know, the Olympics, most of their shit is in different languages most of the time anyway.
I'm going to tell you, because you mentioned me bringing up Trump. Most of the criticism of Bad Bunny on the halftime show, that's where it originated. It's because Trump, if Trump wasn't involved in this, there would still be people pissed off that the show was not 100% English, but the amount of disgust would be significantly less. Almost all of the disgust about Bad Bunny being a performer is coming from the MAGA side of the aisle. That is Trump. So it's hard not to talk about Trump when the whole subject is originated from him.
Well, for one thing, he's a big football fan. How many football games has he gone to this year?
He's a big retribution fan. Bad Bunny has said negative shit about him. Bad Bunny has been seen wearing a dress. He don't like people who criticize him. He don't like the transgender community or the gay community. That's where this shit is coming from. It ain't got nothing to do with him loving football.
I don't think he knows who the fuck Bad Bunny is. I think he saw people online bitching about it, and he's like, I agree with them, and he fucking copied and pasted. He reposted like he did that stupid video.
The most streamed audience in the world criticizes you, and you're telling me you don't think that got back to Trump?
What do you mean?
Bad Bunny has criticized Trump. Bad Bunny's all over everything from Jimmy Fallon. He's all over TV and shit. He said negative things about President Trump. He has an incredible amount of popularity.
He's the most streamed doesn't mean he's the most streamed by like MAGA. Like
I'm not saying that. That ain't what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this guy is wildly popular. If he says something negative about Trump, you don't think somebody came and told Trump about that?
Probably not, because he probably said it in Spanish. By the way, are you racist? Because you should have had this show in Spanish. Why is this show still in English? Why are you not trying to appeal to the rest of the world and have this show all in Spanish?
My show actually is translated in multiple languages. In fact, all of my shows are on YouTube. After I'm done, they're archived, and all of them I have YouTube. I've given messages. And I do get viewers. I actually do get viewers that respond to my shows, my comments, my live streams, my shorts in other languages, and I translate and talk to them. I mean, so it is in other languages.
Nah, that doesn't count though. That's not the same as this. You know, like this is.
If they complain, and there's an avenue to do it, you just heard my last guest talking about. I need to get more supporters. Goddammit! If I get enough support, I'll put this shit in Russian. I don't have enough support, first of all, to make it happen. I'm not like Trump. I'm not closed-minded to doing
my point. My point is, you're an English show. You're debating Americans. You shouldn't be doing the show in Spanish.
I have no problem doing this show in whatever. I want to talk to and get out the word to as many people as possible. I would do this show in any language available. What is the point you're making?
You already said it. Like, the people are already watching your show in different languages.
Right.
Like, if you found out, say you started doing the show in Spanish, and you find out only 2 people are watching it in Spanish, will you continue that effort? Because right now you're doing it in different languages because it's no extra effort for you. But if it was actually an effort, and the Americans couldn't hear you in English, and you just did it in Spanish.
If I'd done the show in a different language under the same premise of the NFL doing the halftime show under a different language, which is the NFL's doing the halftime show in a different language, and it's exposing them to millions of people, bringing millions of fans to the NFL. If I could do this show in a different language and it'll bring hundreds of people from that particular language to my, I would certainly invite that. Yes, I would do it.
But you're gonna lose some of your English-speaking clients or watchers.
I can get them back. I mean, that's what happens. I get every show. I get 200 or 300 new subscribers. I mean, that happens. I'm gonna lose a few. I'm gonna get a few. I don't mind about that.
All right, so let's just start doing the show in Spanish. Hell, let's do it in Arabic. I speak Arabic. Let's start.
Can you guarantee the audience? Can you guarantee the audience?
Well, no one's guaranteeing the audience for the NFL.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. That audience is good. That if you anywhere Bad Money goes, a huge audience is going to follow. Yes, the audience. I don't have an Arabic audience right now, so anywhere he goes, a huge. Now, if you get me a debate, somebody who wants to debate that is well known, thousands of fans in the Arabic community, yeah, I would bring them on right away. Yes.
I guess, but I don't think your American audience is gonna like it.
Okay. Listen, then I would let them know later on. I would translate what we discussed during that time. It is what it is. Anyway, so why is Trump chiming in and saying all kinds of negative shit about it?
Because that's what Trump does. Because he's been doing this since Colin Kaepernick. I mean, this is the NFL. He's been doing this for years. This isn't new.
Is he just a hateful motherfucker? Why is this? Because nobody else does this. Is he just hateful?
He repeats what MAGA and the rest of America is saying.
No, I think MAGA repeats what he is saying. I think you got that backwards.
No, I always tell you it's the opposite. Or it's like 50-50, depending on the subject. I think he repeats what we're saying just as much as we repeat what he's saying. Because he's online. He's online reading our shit and reposting videos and shit.
Right.
We can speak to that, right? He's online.
Right. It ain't a staffer. It's him. Exactly. He's online doing it. It's not a fucking staffer at 11 or 12 o'clock at night. You're right. It's him.
Yeah. And as a person that does the same shit, I could tell you, if I was watching that video, I would have reposted it without watching it till the end, too.
Would you go online and type?
It's too stupid. It's too stupid for him to post something like the monkey thing.
Wait, say that again?
You don't think that's just really stupid for him to post the Obama monkey thing?
Do I think it's stupid for Trump to do it?
Yes.
Didn't a photo of minority House Leader Hakeem Jeffries wearing a sombrero, that came from his account too. He didn't accuse the staffer of doing that. That's stupid as well.
But that's not the same. It's not him freaking eating a banana and getting,
Is it stupid to put a sombrero on the Speaker of the House's head? Is it stupid or not?
It's stupid, but it's not racist. I'm saying it's stupid because it's so racist that it's fucking. How is that gonna help him in any way? At least the sombrero is kind of funny, and is it racist? Is it not? Who cares? It's not racist to that speaker. But this is just straight up racist in every way possible. Like this, I said it was racist from day one, right?
Yeah, you did. Well, here's the point.
Yeah.
When you are used to taking things to the edge, sometimes you fall off. Okay, the sombrero thing was taking it to the edge. The video I show all the time of him talking about black people are killing whites wholesale. I mean, he takes things to the edge. Well, with the Obama picture,
That's
just
not a
went
video,
off.
That was a picture. You keep calling it a video.
Video, whatever.
It's a picture. It's a post that he reposted. It was a picture, and it was talking about cops, and he probably looked at the part that was talking about cops and didn't even think about the part that... Because I saw that picture 10 times watching your show before I noticed the part that talks about black people at the end. I think he looked at the part that was talking about cops.
I don't,
Just like here. I don't think he...
You shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to do all that,
It's got a
MAGA.
bunch of shit, and then last 2 seconds has Obama as a
You shouldn't have. You shouldn't have to do all that. When the president posts something online, well, I'm thinking he didn't watch this, or I'm thinking he only heard. You shouldn't have to do all of that finagling and fucking rigmarole to try to figure out why he did something so crazy like that. Well, maybe he didn't see this part, or he didn't. Look, you're the president. You're responsible for 100% of what comes from your account. You know, well, he didn't see it. That's irrelevant. It came from your account. Either you posted it, or the guy, or somebody that you hired posted it. Your name is on it. Anything with your name on it, you're responsible for entirely.
I'm not saying he's not responsible. He is responsible. And
Right.
he's fucking
So
gonna pay
why?
for
So
that.
why does he? So what, if he's responsible and you agree with that? So why does the staffer or him not hearing it or not? That's irrelevant. Why even bring it up?
No, it is relevant.
How?
Did he do it on purpose or was it an accident? It's very relevant.
Then
Did
it
he
makes
do it on purpose or was it an accident?
Yeah, but then it makes you look fucking
He did
incompetent.
it on purpose.
So you're the guy that has control of the button, and you're not even responsible enough to actually pay attention to what you posted. You're that. I mean, even if it's not
Especially
racist.
too at night. Are you kidding me? I all these people online always telling you like they watch everything till the end and they're perfect posters and they never make mistakes. I've posted so much shit at night that I had to erase the next morning when I actually looked at it. So
It was on there for 12 hours.
Same shit.
It was on there for 12 hours, MAGA Reacts.
Yeah, because I don't think they even figured it out till later.
This is what I'm talking about. You shouldn't have to
actually post it.
This is what I'm talking. You shouldn't have to keep spinning like this to figure out why the hell it shouldn't have been out there. The fact that you got to make up all these. Wait, maybe he didn't check it, or maybe it was.
Up any excuses? It's just one excuse. He didn't watch it to the end. He reposted it, and it took him 12 hours to realize what the fuck he actually posted.
I think it's exactly what in the comments Don is saying. Don Music, he's saying you're making the president sound stupid. You're making him sound at the very least incredibly incompetent. You know, you posting shit, not looking at it, you're not listening to it here. You're up 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. You don't know what you're sending, and all. I mean, you make him sound like a senile, incompetent man.
Or this is what every American does all over the fucking country, including myself. And I'm judging him based on the same shit I've done 1,000 times, where I post something and the next morning I realize it's fucking something's bad about it.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, everybody does this shit.
Well, keep in mind, last time we talked, you stated that you watch videos, don't listen to the audio, and then you repost them. So you repost videos without even knowing the audio of it. You said you do that, right?
Yeah, I mean, depends on the video. There's a lot of videos where you could just read and get the idea of the video, and you think this video, that video started being about election fraud. So he thought he was posting something about election fraud and about him being a lion, and then at the end, surprise, there's the last 1 second of the video has fucking Obama as a monkey. Yeah. After being about election fraud and about fucking Trump being the Lion King.
Yeah. Like I said, to me, with somebody that's in, over 350, 360 million people, that's inexcusable. You or me, some Joe Schmo on the internet, that's one thing. But when you sending out messages.
Why did they re-upload the video with the monkey part at the beginning? Because every time I go look for the video on fucking anywhere right now,
I don't know.
To the beginning.
I don't know why the video was uploaded. Period. Like I said, even if you take the Obamas out of the video, it still is something that should never come from a presidential account. Take the racism aspect away from it. The whole fucking thing is wrong.
No, I'm talking right now. The left is uploading it to attack Trump. They're like, look what Trump uploaded. Except now they redid it where they add the monkey part starts at the beginning. Because like a video like that, I've never watched the end. Honestly, like I would watch like 2 seconds of it. I'm like, all right, but you're not. Thing, and I would.
That doesn't take away from what I just said. That shit should not come from a presidential account. Whether the Obamas are in it as apes or not, take the Obamas completely out of it and just leave the rest of the characters in it. That should not come from a presidential account, period.
That's a whole different argument. I'm just trying to stick to the is Trump racist or not part. Is Trump stupid for posting this shit? I think he is. I don't like when he does it, but...
So do you believe we should normalize...
Good with the bad.
Do you believe we should normalize white people being able to post pictures of blacks as apes as comedy?
No, it was a mistake, and he fucking removed.
How do you know it's a mistake?
Trump is a
How do you know it's a mistake?
Because he removed the video.
Okay.
If it wasn't a mistake, he would have never removed the video. Like, did he ever remove the sombrero video?
He removed a white power video too.
That was also a mistake. He didn't fucking listen to the audio.
How does one guy make all these
one video about election fraud and one video about golf?
How does one guy
How
does one guy make all these racist sounding mistakes?
Well, he posts like 10, 15 videos a day, every day of the fucking week. So in 1,000, 2,000 videos, 2 mistakes is not that bad. I mean, he does a lot of shit. Like, you're comparing him to like you and me. I post one video like a month, if that. He posts fucking 10 a day or whatever the fuck he does.
Yeah, he's so busy. He's so busy he's sitting around reposting cartoons. I gotta go, MAGA. I do gotta go,
same
but
with him being on TV. Like, you can't compare him to Biden because Biden was only on TV for 5 minutes a week, where he's on TV for 2 hours a day. So you can't be like, oh,
I'm okay with his television appearances, but reposting cartoons that are just designed to piss people, no. The idea that he only saw the part that was about election fraud, he didn't see a single one of the characters being portrayed as an animal. I don't buy that. The minute
he was cool. He was cool with him being a lion. No one gives a fuck about Harris being a turtle. Biden was also a monkey, by the way. Nobody talks about that.
No, the president shouldn't post that dumb shit. That's what I'm saying. I gotta go. I gotta go.
There, but
all right.
I think he was trying to be racist.
And I'll leave it at that. Tap the screen, get the likes on up to 120, if you will. Denka says we have women in charge of the DNI, CIA, and yeah, but they're okay with it. You heard them say it's okay to have a woman in charge of being a governor. He just didn't, some folks just don't believe a woman should be president. That's what my other guest conservative said. He just don't favor having a woman as president. I don't know why so many folks on the right feel that way. Support your local liberal. Thank you, handsome conservative. I do appreciate that. I don't know why this thing is not showing me those super chats quicker, but I will continue on. Tap the screen, get us up to 120. If you're watching us on Instagram, Substack, or TikTok, feel free to follow the program. And if you happen to be watching us on YouTube, give your boy a sub. I'm actually, like I said, I hate, I think we got a, what do you call it? A spammer. I'm focused on trying to deal with a spammer. I don't like blocking people. I'm gonna make that clear to you. I do not like blocking folks, but some folks, it is what it is. They get on there and type the same shit 100 times. And unfortunately, it doesn't leave room for other people to be able to, type. So, get your point across, but understand you're not the only one trying to talk. So when you type the same shit over and over again, you don't leave me any room but to actually, you don't leave me any room to do anything but block you. And I don't want to do that, but you got a few folks that are doing that. Anyway, looking in the comments here, and I don't know why this thing is acting this way, especially when it's nonsense. Yeah, and that's usually what it is. That's usually what it is. It's just nonsense over and over and over. Sometimes a person really wants their point to get across. They're not a subscriber. They're not supporting the program, anything. So their lettering is just white. And because it's not getting read, they keep typing it over and over again. If you really want your comment to get read, get your boy a super chat. It could be 99 cents. It turns the screen colors. Guaranteed to read that. But yeah, if you're not doing anything, then yeah, you're just going to type the same thing over and over again, and that's what leads me to, unfortunately, have to block you. Anyway, he himself said he would not apologize because he did not make a mistake. Don't know why it's hard. I don't know why either. I agree with that. Once he said he didn't make a mistake, I think that it's typical for MAGA to rush and defend Trump on anything that's controversial, but there is no defense. I'm 100% sure Trump posted that and meant to post it and saw it in its entirety. All this, he didn't see it all, and all the other. I see those as just blind MAGA defenses. Mike, good evening. Welcome to the program.
What's going on, Tim?
Not much at all. Now, I saw you wanted to come up, but I knew his time was coming up. But what did you hear you disagree with?
Well, my question to him and this, now I want you to listen to this. He said that he's posted videos without listening to them, right? That's what he said.
Yep. Yes, he
So
has.
if you can post a video without listening to it, why do you give a fuck that the halftime was in a language you couldn't understand anyway?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. If you'll post a video without listening, then why would the halftime bother you in a language you can't understand any fucking way?
Ooh. That's a great point. That is a great point.
Yeah, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. It makes no sense because that's not the root of this. But let me ask you this, Tim. Let me ask you this. I want to get back to this post about Donald Trump. Say, for example, you were the leader of a group called BHB, Big Head Brothers. And
Blue One, thank you. Go ahead.
And y'all got hats that say BHB on them and all that shit, right? Big Head Brother movement, right? Just like MAGA. And you had an organization. You remember the Young Republicans?
Yes.
Remember them?
Yeah.
When they got caught with all those texts and saying all that racist stuff.
Yep.
Remember all of them?
Yeah, I do remember that. Them were Charlie Kirk's people, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, they were part of GOP.
Yeah.
You gotta remember, this is the Young Republicans, right?
I do remember that.
Making all of those hate and racist comments. Remember all that?
Yep.
Those people end up being staffers. Those people end up being in these administrations. They end up working for these lawmakers. The same ones J.D. Vance was saying, it's just kids being kids, although they were ages 18 to 40. The idea that they continue to keep walking around this racism at the feet of this president and making excuses for it is absolutely absurd.
I think it's very similar to the analogy you gave about one house across the street and there's always cats around it. Like, why do you keep attracting all this type of riffraff, all this racially sensitive shit? You know, the Democrat Party, where are all of the white supremacists and nationalists that are hanging around Joe Biden and Kamala Harris? Like, they do seem to continue only being on the right side of the aisle. For the right to be talking about Joe Biden and vote for me and you in black, the Biden administration is racist. You don't see a whole lot of white supremacists talking about how much they wish Kamala Harris had won. So yeah, it don't make sense.
MAGA is Pigpen from the Peanuts. Right? Like they always got racism over their head. They always got a cloud of racism over their head. And they wonder why people say, why are you guys calling us racist? Because you got the racist cloud over your head. Everything that's happened when it comes to the NFL since Trump, and here's where MAGA was right. Yeah, Colin Kaepernick. Yes. But even he couldn't protest silently. This country wants us to be complicit and just shut the fuck up. Tim, I keep telling you that. I keep telling you. They want us just to be quiet. The idea that this, first of all, it's a show. Right? It's a performance.
Right.
Not nine times out of 10. Now, first of all, I don't know, was it MAGA or Jeremy that said he dances to the words and not the? That's the whitest shit I've ever heard. No wonder they look like they're gonna have seizures and run into each other. Who the fuck dances to the words? Tim,
I ain't never heard it before. Yeah, I ain't never heard that before.
Now listen, and I need it's you that dancing Margarita. Listen, I need white America. I need white America to stand up. I need white America to say that ain't us. I don't know. We may not have all the rhythm, but we do not dance to the words.
I had never heard that before. Dance to the words. Yeah, I've never heard that before. That was different. That was different.
It is different. So at the end of the day, we have to call what we saw yesterday. I thought it was a great performance. But again, I like performances, right? Isn't the opera a performance?
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's done in Spanish or another language, but it's not English.
That
right?
is true.
There's all forms of performances that are not in English, right? The ballet or the symphony or I mean, come on, we got to act as if this was. White America was uncomfortable, Tim, and I told you they need to stay comfortable.
Is that what you see this as with Bad Bunny, that white America was uncomfortable?
Why do you think we're going to go do our own halftime show? And when it came on, what did they say? Did you watch it?
I watched some of it. Yeah, they were talking about the real Americans. I mean, I watched some of it. I had it on. It wasn't resonating.
Exactly. But what were the first words that came out of their mouth?
I must didn't hear that.
The very first words of the guy that was hosting, he said, "Charlie Kirk, this was for you."
Oh yeah, I did hear that.
So who was their performance for, Tim?
Supporters and lovers of Charlie Kirk, I guess.
It was for a conservative audience. You see how you see the hypocrisy?
I think that's a given. Turning Point USA and Kid Rock. I mean, yeah, probably 95% of the people that watched that were conservatives. The other 5, folks like me or reporters and things like that, which, kind of what I'm doing anyway. But everybody knew it was a conservative. Turning Point itself is conservative. So, yeah, it's totally a conservative audience.
I get it. But again, listen to the hypocrisy. They are complaining that the halftime show was in Spanish while they simultaneously went and held a halftime performance for their subset of support directly.
Yeah, that's true.
You see the hypocrisy there?
I see the connection. In the comments, stop looking for logic where it doesn't exist as SGB. I don't know in this case, though. But yeah, definitely. I see where you're going with that. Yeah.
It's not like they did a halftime show with all demographics of music. They did a halftime show for their conservative audience, specifically. Turning Point, conservative, MAGA, CK supporters. You open a show saying CK, you are limiting your demographic to those people, right? That's exactly what they did.
But Nicki Minaj, who is a performer, I mean, if she did a show and she opened it up by giving, praise to Charlie Kirk, her music is still not going to be for those. I mean, it would be for everybody, wouldn't it?
But did they have her perform?
No. No, they didn't. No, you ain't gonna see Nicki Minaj performing for two, only way Nicki Minaj is gonna perform for a MAGA conservative oriented audience if she make a song that's literally the lyrics is giving them praise. I mean, it can't be about cars or dudes. It's gonna have to be like bragging about Trump or something.
And again, they're using her because if it was really about their support, they would have had her perform at that. They would have asked her to perform at that. They did not. Tim, listen, all of this smoke and this bullshit, it is what we've always said it is. She wasn't at the Super Bowl. That was Cardi B. You're getting your light-skinned woman mixed up, MAGA reacts again. But you only listen and dance to the words. So you don't even know what fucking song we talking about. Just read it. Why don't you dance with a dictionary in your hand, MAGA reacts?
Oh my God.
Since you only look at the words.
But speaking of words there, Mike, in the comments, Michael Morgan says, listen to the lyrics in English and then you will see the disgust. So what about the notion that, and I know you can bring up, Kid Rock has some lyrics out there too about statutory being mandatory, but what about the fact that the lyrics and I looked them up, there is some lyrics to a couple of the songs that Bad Bunny was singing that they are explicit lyrics that we just didn't understand them, but he did sing a couple songs and I believe he didn't censor the lyrics.
And again, what are we complaining about? If they were explicit and we don't know the language, these motherfuckers, they will find anything to complain about, Tim. I mean, so you want me to go look them up and say, ooh, now that I can read the lyrics, when he was performing them in Spanish when I didn't understand them, now it's the argument. And again, what was Kid Rock's lyrics on that song? What you just said it. Say it again.
Yeah, he said it was talking about a young girl being statutory, but he said statutory is mandatory. So he was making it clear he wants to bang a young girl.
Now, whoever asked that question in the comments, ask them about those comments, and I bet you they won't respond to.
They're probably unaware of them.
Oh, and wait a minute, they can't understand English? Wait a minute. They can't understand.
You're doing what SGB said. You're looking for logic where. I get it. I totally agree with you. I get it. I do get it though.
I want to be clear. Kid Rock has English. Matter of fact, he raps and sings in English, and he has a lyric that says statutory is mandatory. But you don't think they heard it?
They gave it a pass.
They couldn't understand.
It's like grabbing by the. It's like grabbing by the pussy. Look, it's one of our guys saying it, so we can kind of overlook that.
Call it what it is, Tim. Just listen. All I want people to do is just call it what it is. They listen. All the rules are for us, not for them. The rules aren't made for everyone.
Yeah, because one of the guests says, let's not forget this lyric. She was 17 and very far from in between, smoking funny things, drinking whiskey from the bottle. That's his well-known song. And that's you're basically watching a 17-year-old drink before they can legally drink. I mean, so yeah, drinking whiskey from what is that song? Drinking whiskey from a bar. I know the song. So
I don't listen. All of this stuff, and the irony coming from them and their uplifting Kid Rock, who basically has misappropriated hip hop to the fullest. I mean, can it get any fucking the hat and the chains? And but when these motherfuckers is amazing. But let me say this, Tim. There's questionable lyrics in every genre. First of all,
yeah,
every genre.
True.
Doesn't matter what it is. They always tend to talk about rap music, but they don't talk about this shit. They always talk about.
And real quick before you continue, I'm just going to say I got Fox News on in the background. Laura Ingraham just came on, and Kid Rock is her open. She's interviewing Kid Rock in the opening segment. They had a what do you call it? A ticker at the bottom that says the left destroys the halftime show. But go ahead.
Yeah. So it destroys it because it didn't fit their narrative. And the sad part is the NFL. See, capitalism comes for everybody.
Right.
Capitalism comes for everybody, and the NFL said we are playing in Brazil, we're going back to Mexico, we are in Germany, we are in Europe. I mean, we're everywhere.
Are you? Wait. Are you? It almost sounds, Mike, just a little bit. It almost sounds like you're suggesting the NFL was playing chess while MAGA was playing checkers. Is that what you're telling me?
100%. And I'm gonna tell you this. If you watch the commercials, nobody's talking about the commercials. Damn near every commercial had a unifying tone to it. If you go back and watch the commercials, did you see the commercial where the white girl kind of looked at the Mexican neighbor kind of sideways with her puppy, and then the Mexican guy tried to talk to the white neighbor, and the white neighbor didn't say nothing, and then the storm hit. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
Got loose. Yeah, and then the dog got loose, and a branch fell in the white man's front yard.
I didn't see that. I didn't
see that. And then the Hispanic girl ended up finding the dog underneath a car in the storm and returned it to the crying white girl. And then the Mexican dude helped cut up the tree in the white man's yard, and they started looking at him like they're human. I mean, listen, people missed all of this shit. They missed all of this stuff.
That sounds like the kind of commercial that's gonna piss off a bunch of right wing white men.
But it was about unity. It's about seeing people as equals, about coming together. Most advertisers were doing that. If you paid attention to the commercials, they were trying to show unity. Right now, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Because everybody sees what's going on. This division
is at its peak.
And the crazy part about it, I tell you what, I would challenge you to ask Melania to speak and tell me how many words you understood coming out of her goddamn mouth.
Ooh. Well, if I had to listen to Melania, I guess I would have to be best to make sure I understood. Yeah, you're right. Melania's English is, you understand some of it, but yeah, it can be challenging. Her accent is pretty thick.
But again, nobody cares about that because, see, she's a white immigrant. Let's just call it what it is.
Well, she's a friend of the program. Well, that's the way they look at it. She's a friend of the program.
And again, when she stands, you can barely, ain't nobody saying nothing about her accent. And know that nobody's saying nothing about her language. Nobody says anything. If you ask somebody to tell me the lyrics from a Kid Rock song right now, they couldn't tell you. What are we talking about? And performances sometimes are more theatrical than paying attention to the words. Have you seen Hamilton?
No.
So if you watch the music Hamilton, you'll understand the words, but they're coming at you quick. But that's because you have a deep-rooted history in rap music. The cadence to rap, when you listen to it a lot, you get accustomed to picking up on cadences, right? That's what happens.
Okay.
That's how you learn other languages. It's just crazy to me. And by the way, who was the largest consumer of this music that we talk about?
The largest consumer of which music?
Rap music.
Well, the white population by far outnumbers it's whites.
Not even, it ain't even close. They're the ones that go to the concerts and they buy the tickets. You're right. I'm saying you're right.
Oh.
They go to the concerts, they buy the tickets. But then when it gets on halftime, they say they didn't like Kendrick Lamar last year. They didn't like Usher. They didn't like Rihanna. They didn't like none of that shit.
Hey, Dave Cal in the comments says, did you see the 5-year-old who got caught up in the ice race that Bad Bunny gave his Grammy? That I was under the impression that wasn't that kid.
No, that wasn't Liam. People said it was Liam.
Yeah, that wasn't him.
Liam.
Yeah.
Yeah, what it was, which I thought was dope. I mean, I thought the whole set was dope. I thought that he didn't have. I understood everything that was going on without him saying one word in English, like the telephone poles.
Yep.
Right? The telephone poles were about the hurricanes and how the U.S. handled them restoring their power during that hurricane. I'm surprised they weren't throwing paper towels. But everything had symbolism to it, and I thought he did a phenomenal job putting it together. I thought it was phenomenal how he put it together. The bodega, the people playing dominoes, the little boy's watching him in the screen. He gives him the Grammy like, this could be you one day.
Yeah.
I mean, all of that shit was powerful, man. So, but did if you asked me to tell you one word other than God Bless America, that's all I heard in English. But this is the problem with this country. They want to lay this at the feet of the NFL. It's their racism, Tim. It's their racism. They want to be so comfortable. You know what? They said the same thing about black quarterbacks. They said the same thing about black coaches. They just want to be comfortable. They just want to be comfortable.
Well, it did take a while.
Kids seeing that shit.
It did take a while. So
yeah, they don't want their kids seeing that shit. They don't. Baseball used to be all white. We had a Negro league because white folks weren't comfortable. Right? Bill Russell had to stay at a separate hotel than his team because white folks weren't comfortable. We had to go in the back door instead of the front door because white folks weren't comfortable. Tim, what are we talking about? And now,
but here's what we're talking about. And I know Sammy Davis Jr. and all of them. He was with the Rat Pack. He had to go in the back door club. But the argument is we've evolved from that. The argument is that stuff is not happening in 2026, Mike. That's what they're saying. That was then, not now.
Again, so why did they need a separate Super Bowl halftime if it wasn't now?
They didn't want to. Well, because they wanted one that was in English, Mike. They want English as the language of the country. They believe that the football is our number one sport. It's the most watched program for the most part on the planet. The Super Bowl is probably, well, maybe some of them soccer games. I don't know, but it is one of the most watched programs.
It is.
They're suggesting it should be in English.
I know what they're saying. And here's the thing. And they talked about the dancing and the gyrating, the scantily clothes. Tim, who are the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders?
White girls. I don't know. What do you mean? What do you mean? Who are they?
They've been scantily closed and shaking their ass and for decades now.
Yeah. I mean, Elvis was shaking his ass. I mean, I get what you're saying.
Yes, so were the Rolling Stones when they did the halftime show. It's just crazy to me. It's crazy to me that these hypocritical motherfuckers come out here with this shit and they never look at their own backyards. Matter of fact, all the gyrating and all of that stuff that they're talking happens at every NFL game and every NBA game every single day. And they buy the floor tickets. What about the Laker girls?
Yeah, I didn't hear, but when they really, well, Trump himself talking about the dance, and I guess he did complain about the gyrating. And real quick, Will G says MAGA ain't shit. Says great Super Bowl, Bad Bunny made MAGA cry. Wow, I don't know if they certainly got to complain. I don't know about the crying, but yeah, they certainly are not happy about it. Real quick, I got to move on, but go ahead.
I'm gonna say this. I know you got to move on. I'm gonna say this to MAGA React. First of all, dude, you can never ever debate me, so just stop doing that.
I'm gonna make that happen. I'm gonna have to make that happen next time.
Trust me, you can, but it ain't gonna end well for him. Because they didn't taught me how to read. Let me say this.
That sounds like some off the plantation shit there.
Yeah, they
Oh
taught
my
me how to
God.
read.
Taught you how to read. All right, Mike.
Check it. No, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna land my plane here, but just give me 1 second. We were the source of entertainment for this country at our own expense. It was okay when they had games when called Hit the Negro. You remember I showed you that. I showed you that image back in the fairs in the 30s and 40s when they had our faces.
I remember it.
Right?
Yeah, I remember it.
It was okay when we're a source of their entertainment for their entertainment. But once they have to absorb something that they're uncomfortable with, they want to tell us that it's wrong while they simultaneously separate themselves and have a show specifically for them.
You're making me think of that image. I remember the Hit the Negro stuff. That's, yeah. It's amazing that people can do that.
It wasn't Negro. I just cleaned up the word. That's not.
Yeah, I know. We know that. It's just amazing people can be that fucking evil. Mike, thanks for coming through, man. Appreciate it.
All right, bro.
All right, moving on with the program. Want to make sure I didn't miss anything before we move on to the next caller and tap the screen, get us on up to 135, if you will, 135,000. Cowboy says, I love that Mario music. Real quick, I want to make sure I didn't. Yeah, okay. All right, I think we're at normal now. Neither can anyone under 18 does that. Make them un-American. I don't know what you're saying there. Thanks, whoever sent that. C. Osby, appreciate the hat and mustache. A few of you guys helping your boy out with the hat and mustache goal. Thank you very much. Wow, and Laura Ingram giving a long segment to Kid Rock. Man, that's a long segment she giving him. Laura Ingram and Kid Rock is on it. And they're, of course, talking about Bad Bunny the whole time. My mother, who is 73, this is coming from the Nardy Boy. My mother, who is 73, is from Spartanburg, South Carolina. She vividly remembers colored-only restrooms. We're not that far removed. Wow. Yeah. Well, you got to think, after the Martin Luther King era, you don't change what's in people's hearts and minds just by passing legislation. So even after Martin Luther King and the Civil Rights Act in 64 and things like that, you got to assume a lot of people a lot of areas continue doing that. That's why they call it Juneteenth, is because when Lincoln freed the slaves, they didn't just let them be free. Texas continued keeping them as slaves because they could hide it. I mean, so yeah, 73, that would put her back in there, because my mom, who passed away, I think she'd be 75 right now. So yeah, I mean, she was born in 48. So yeah, if 73, yeah, she certainly would have lived through it. I mean, she'd have been old enough to see it in South Carolina for certain. She'd have been old enough. I'm glad our family tuned into Turning Point, says Johnny Lightning. Perhaps you've seen a good show. Look, 5 million. Like I said, I watched some of the Turning Point show, the beginning on YouTube. When I tuned in, it was at 2.4 million folks watching, and it ended up getting over 5 million, like over 5 million people. So it was for an independent show, those are not bad numbers. I mean, that's only probably about 1/20th of what Bad Bunny did, but still not bad numbers, I suppose, for an independent show. Anyway, going back to the box, make sure I didn't miss it. His shit is being translated. What does it say? His set featuring a medley of hits use symbolism like a "Together We Are America" football. That "Together We Are America" football was pretty awesome. I had to rewind it and see that, because he walked down. This is the end of the Bad Bunny show, where they're walking with people representing flags from all of America, from Canada all the way down to the tip, Chile, Brazil, all the countries in between, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, all the countries. Because what they're saying is all of that's America. North America, South America, all of these countries are America. We only view the U.S. as America. But all of those countries are officially in America. They're all on the American continent. So yeah, in the football he holds up says we are all Americans. That was pretty strong. Pretty strong. I know the MAGA side of the aisle ain't trying to hear that shit though. Anyway, let me go back to the box. That's about how much MAGA is, about 5%, says Johnny D. Price. I think MAGA represents more than 5%. Stick, the ruler. Good evening, Stick. Welcome to the program. Good evening.
Hey, how you doing,
I'm
Tim?
doing good. I'm doing good. Did you catch the show?
Yeah, man. I was in here since the beginning. I was number 2 to request, but you know, it happens.
I'm just seeing names moving everywhere. So, what did you think of the show, though?
I think that you had enough of MAGA, and I've heard enough of they dumbass. MAGA reacts. I don't think you
had enough MAGA. Straight Talk Commerce is on deck.
Yeah. Please let him go after me. I'm sorry, Tim. I'm gonna have to leave because he says the dumbest shit as a soldier that I've ever heard in my life. He is definitely the new Private Powell.
Oh my God.
He need to eat all the donuts. He need to walk around with his drawers all the way down, with his pistol in his. I mean, not a pistol, but you know what I mean. He need to be Private Powell for real because he said some dumbass shit.
Oh Lord. Okay. So, what did you think of Bad Bunny's show?
I thought it was a great show. Being that I am a melanated person, I think especially at the end when you seen all the South American flags and the Caribbean flags and any other flag that was a part of that out there, and everybody out there just, doing their thing, I think it was a real good show. I think they did their thing, and Bad Bunny is definitely the man, and it is what it is. You don't like it, you should watch that half show that Kid Rock, had.
Now, were you familiar with Bad Bunny before all this stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
My kids, they love Bad Bunny. They like a lot of his music, and not only that, he's in a series that I like to watch frequently. It's called Narco Mexico.
Oh, yeah, I had never heard of him. I didn't know much about him, and I may have heard the name in passing, but I've heard Despacito and Dame My Gasolina. I've heard the other. I don't know any of his major hits like that. To me, now Despacito, once again, it's in Spanish 100%, but Despacito hits. That bangs. That was in the last Fast and Furious movie. I mean, stuff like that. Now I can get with, maybe not the last one, but it was in one of the Fast and Furious movies. I could get with that. I just did not know of any of Bad Bunny's music.
Yeah, and ain't nothing wrong with not knowing none of it, but just because you don't know none of it, that don't make you say, oh, it was trash, or he's not American, or whatever the case may be. And what's sad about it is we're not the only America. We have a South America, a Central America, and they was prevalently out there, and it was more of them than it is of us. So, I mean, what's the problem?
Yeah. And real quick in the comments, Shoe Chef, I didn't say Despacito was one of Bad Bunny's songs. What I'm saying is I can think of songs that bang that I don't understand any of the words. That's what I'm saying. Dame My Gasolina is with Daddy Yankee or somebody. That ain't his song either. But some songs, it's just the beat and the rhythm. And I think that, for instance, that rap breakdown in Despacito, that shit hits hard. And I don't know a word that's in that. And I mean, so the idea that you need to understand it, I don't know, because there's a lot of Americans that loved Despacito and they didn't understand it.
Man, listen, man, it's not about understanding. It's about one and two things. If you didn't want to watch it, if you think that the halftime show was trash or whatever the case may be, take your ass over there, watch that Charlie Kirk, whatever that shit them people name. You could have watched that shit. And you could have seen that it was probably like 36 people around Chris Rock, or whatever his name is, Kid Rock, and it was trash. He did not have the production, he did not have the people, he did not even have the broadcasting to even pull it off. Now, you want to say, oh, he got 2 million views. Fuck that. The Super Bowl is around the world. Yeah. We got billion of views. And you know how many people spoke Spanish that was jamming on the other side of that screen?
Yeah.
It don't have to be just MAGA. MAGA, you are old. You are older than Trump. Nobody cares about what y'all think. We see that y'all dumb as hell. We see that y'all don't have, y'all turn yourself into president.
Wait a minute. You're trying to tell, you can't say that all MAGA are dumb.
All of them. The MAGA that I see, every MAGA that you brought up here is dumb as shit. Every last one of them. Every last one of them.
Wait.
None of them can give you a straight up answer. All they turn themselves into goddamn pretzels all the damn time. That's why I keep putting pretzels up there. Then one of the damn niggas thought that I was the one spamming. That's how dumb he is.
What about the notion that MAGA are just regular people like you and I? They just have a difference of opinion.
How about they dumb as shit, bro? Like, let's stop. Why are we doing this, bro? Why are we doing this? Why do we gotta keep?
Wait, hold it. You do. We're talking about numbers. We're talking about Bad Bunny. You realize like 70 some odd million people voted for Trump. They more voted for Trump than they did Kamala Harris. So, what you saying? Kamala Harris is even dumber?
Hold on. Time out. So this is how we're gonna do this. And let's keep it G and let's be real about this.
Okay.
Tim. You from the south side of Chicago. We finna keep this shit fucking G.
All right, let's keep it G.
Kamala Harris, Miss Harris, she got 74 to 75 million votes. Trump got 77.
Okay.
And then on top of that, for whatever factors, there were 90 million people that didn't vote.
Probably most of them are folks who would have been more favorable to Kamala Harris.
So again, if they wasn't told the damn lie, especially the one that MAGA led, that she wasn't black, a lot more black folks would have goddamn voted for Ms. Harris.
You really think African Americans stood at home and didn't vote for Kamala Harris because they didn't think she was black? You can see.
Listen, I got family members, right? I got family members that said that they weren't gonna vote for her because they was tired of people acting like they was black and they really ain't black and all of this and that. But I'm looking at them like, so what, you gonna vote for Trump? Nah, I'm just not gonna vote. I'm gonna let them destroy themselves. That's what everybody was thinking.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you one thing. The black community, her being married to a white dude probably didn't help her out. I mean, I believe that. I mean, if she was married to a black guy, I think it would have been more beneficial to her with the black community. And I think that makes the black community look kind of racist, by the way, for doing that. But I think her being married to a white guy didn't help her out with black people. The authenticity part of it.
No, that don't have nothing to do with it. All these black men out here with these snow roaches like Miss Gangsta Grandma.
But that's different, though.
No.
Thank you, Monacola.
What it was you got people that you done had on this show before, like Mr. Denali. They done got hurt by a black woman, being supposed to be a black man, but because he got hurt, you know, he has an attitude and wants black women to be hurt in some type of way. He didn't mind the firing in the federal government because he knew it was a whole bunch of black women that got fired. He don't mind that, you know, the man is supposed to be coming back and taking power and he's this and he's that. He don't have no excuse, no other reason than he's a hurt black man that wants to see black women hurt. Point blank and simple. And if I could put my hands on him, I would.
Who is this individual?
Mr. Denali. You know who you done talked to him before. He's an ignoramus. He was the one that he was I'm unsure, but he was doing all these Fonnie Willis shows and trying to figure out how Fonnie Willis messed up versus Trump.
If I talk to him, I don't remember. It must only been once or twice. I don't remember. The name don't sound familiar.
Yeah, Mr. Denali, man, he looked like a hedgehog. He got like a little wig piece. You know, like the boxer dude that, you know, when he got punched, it flew backwards. He got one of them.
Oh,
he got a man unit.
Okay. Oh, that was a crazy. So you see that man come out there with a toupee? I mean, like, you're going to be sweating and shit and getting hit in the head. You sure that's going to hold on?
He got Oh, look at that.
They hating on you. They hating on you, man.
Yeah,
they hating on you.
Bad. It's all good. But anyway, Tim, going forward, they ignoramuses. They don't know what the hell they got going on. They don't know what the hell they doing. And yeah, I'm out, Tim. I don't, you know, they gonna report me. Right. But anyway, it is what it is. MAGA, you some dumbasses. And like my boys say, MAGA ain't shit.
Oh my. All right, Stick. Good talk. Sorry about the hold, but appreciate you coming through regardless. The elections are turning blue MAGA. I don't, I'm not sure of the elections. I think that President Trump has made it so obvious that he intends on interfering with the elections that I don't feel confident predicting results at all. I mean, if he didn't interfere, I think it would be an incredibly bad blue tidal wave. But there is no reason, based on what's coming from the Trump camp, to believe they're not going to interfere. I mean, it's pretty clear they're going to interfere with the election. I mean, what he did in Fulton County, for instance. I mean, so what he is doing is using his accusations about the 2020 election, which have not been proven, by the way. Even if you believe Trump won the 2020 election, you'd have a hard job to prove that he won it. So he is using his claims of what he believes was fraud in the 2020 election to justify stuff now, even though it's not based on anything proven, like requiring Americans to have citizenship when they vote, to prevent, not to have it, but to prove citizenship at the time of voting. There's no widespread evidence that illegals were voting. And he's indicated that they're going to have ICE surrounding the polls. Why is ICE there? The only job for ICE at the polls would be to make sure illegal immigrants do not vote. Yet there is no evidence that widespread voting has been taking place by illegal immigrants. So the only other purpose of ICE being there is to fuck with actual Americans, demanding they prove that they are actual Americans. That's who's going to be having encounters with ICE. It's going to be overwhelmingly Americans. It's not going to be immigrants, because them folks ain't going to be dumb enough. I mean, what ICE has been doing to immigrants and Americans, by the way, has been televised worldwide. You're not going to risk showing up to a fucking election, not only getting deported, but probably getting, you may get incarcerated, you may get roughed up. God damn it, you might get shot and killed. You're not going to do that to cast one vote in this environment. So there is no need for ICE to be hanging around polling places. Absolutely. Nobody's going to do something to get one vote in. Are you kidding me? All of that risk to cast one vote? That's stupid. But let me go back to the box, and thank you folks that are tapping the screen. Somewhat close to the hat mustache goal. Some of you folks have been indeed showing support, so thank you. Kid Rock was awesome, says Charles. I see that. Liberal tears already left my ass out. Okay, whatever that means. Bad Bunny baby. I see that, Monica. You gotta have ID to buy cigarettes. You don't have to have a birth certificate though. You don't need a passport. I'm okay with the ID to vote. I'm okay with that. But even the ID to vote is based on fabricated shit. But I'm okay. I'm 100% okay, and I think most Democrats are okay with requiring an ID to vote. No big deal there. But when you start requiring citizenship, meaning you got to either bring a passport, which most Americans, a large portion of Americans don't have a passport. So if you don't have a passport, you got to present a birth certificate. Large portion of Americans don't have their birth certificate. So now you're making it so they got to go. Now you're putting an actual hurdle out there. You may live in a different hospital across town somewhere or some shit. Now you got to be trying to reach out to the hospital in the town you were born in. I mean, that's a hurdle that shouldn't be there. It's based on no real evidence that anybody who was born outside of the country is actually voting. That's when I have a problem with it. When you're doing things based on shit you made up. Straight talk. Good evening.
In order to vote, you need to be able to prove who you are. I don't care how you prove who you are. You need to be able to prove who you are. And stop with this widespread...
Wait a minute. So prove who you are. That's just a state ID or a driver's license. Do you believe...
Most state IDs now are real IDs. That would be perfectly fine. And
what if you don't have a real ID, though?
No. You should have a real ID by now.
No, you don't.
If you haven't gotten a real ID by now, then guess what? You're going to need to bring another form of ID and prove who you are.
But so you're telling me if it's not a real ID, you don't trust the validity of who the person is that's holding it?
No, you do not. You can't get on a plane without a real ID, Tim. why am I going to let you vote in my elections without a real ID? Knock it off.
You can. You actually can get on a plane without a real ID.
No, you cannot.
Yeah, you can. It costs you $45. Yeah, you can.
Yeah. What do they do for the $45?
They just finding a way to
run you. They run you, dude. They run a report on you, and at the end of that, you'll end up with a real ID.
Yeah, but
so knock it off.
No, straight talk.
The election.
There is real, genuine history of foreigners getting on airplanes and doing bad shit. There is no history of folks going to polling places that are foreigners and voting. There is no proof of it.
Absolutely not true. We have it all over California right now. Knock it off.
Then where are all the arrestees? Where are all the people that have been arrested for doing it?
No one gets arrested in California.
Then how you know they're doing it?
Because the governor, listen, in order to get arrested, that assumes you're enforcing the law. They're not enforcing the law here.
If you don't...
You're talking, I was a precinct captain during the the election before last. I know exactly how they did this, dude. Stop.
If you don't have any names or any bodies of criminals, then how do you know the crime was committed?
What?
If nobody's been arrested for this, how do you know somebody did it?
Hold on. You're telling me you go to your house and your house has been ransacked. All your shit has been taken out of your house. The police say, hey, we haven't arrested anybody yet. So that means that your house didn't get robbed? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe.
Because they didn't make an arrest? Because they didn't make an arrest that no crime was committed? Because we have a ton of bodies that are John Does, don't even know who they are, let alone who murdered them or murdered them for TikTok. So they didn't die?
Here's the point I'm trying to make, straight talk.
You're not making a point.
You're not. You're just rambling on. You're not listening to the point. How do you know that the votes that were cast were by folks who shouldn't be here illegally? What if it's another American just creating a fake ID or something? How do you know the people voting were illegals if you don't have them arrested or anything?
You are real. I mean, seriously?
Yeah.
Because our governor tells you why he's doing it. That's why. And if you're saying, hold on, you're saying that no illegal immigrants in this country votes. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that
I want to know, yes or no, is that what's going on? No illegals are allowed to vote in the United States.
Out of a country with millions, it might be one or two, but I don't think it's anywhere. Hold on, I don't think it's anywhere near this.
Take your word.
No, don't just take my word. But I don't think it's anywhere near this. It's so bad that you need to make policy because of it.
Barely any. Okay, I just said okay. Now, how many of those illegal aliens are taxed in this country?
All of them.
Okay, so you've got taxation without representation.
That's the whole nation of Puerto Rico.
In the election,
and that's the whole nation. The whole nation of Puerto Rico, Maui, Guam, they all get taxed without representation. What's the big deal?
They have local elections there.
They don't get to vote in
themselves in presidential.
They don't get to vote in the presidential election, so they're getting taxed without representation.
Yes. That's exactly right.
So what's your point?
And they're not, and some of them are not happy about it. Others are very happy about it.
Well, then they need to vote liberal. We'll make a mistake.
In the continental United States, you're saying you're okay with having an entire class of people that are taxed in your country that don't get a vote in their elections, and you're okay with it because I'm not.
What?
Yeah, you said. This is what you said. No illegals are allowed to vote in our elections.
Right.
You said that.
Right.
Maybe one or two, you said.
Right.
And I said, well, damn, how many of those are taxed for the work they do? And you said,
all of
them.
Right.
And I said, all of them? And you said, all of them. And I said, that is taxation without representation. We fought a revolutionary war in this country to gain our freedom for that very thing.
What is the point of this?
The point is you have what amounts to slavery in this country because you're allowing them to work and you are taxing them for that work, but you are not allowing them to vote.
First of all, it's not slavery because they can leave any time. No, it's not. Slavery, you can't leave. They can leave. So that they're getting exploited, but you don't get to leave as a
You're
slave.
okay with exploitation. You call it what you want. I'll call it what I want.
I'll tell you one thing. All of my ancestors would much rather have been the slave that you're talking about than the ones they actually were, because they couldn't leave.
Maybe they would. I'm not doubting that.
Ain't no immigrant getting beaten up and all of this shit, getting their foots chopped off and shit. No, it's a big difference.
Really? So, okay, good. I'm glad to know that there's no immigrants that we're handling their deportations just fine.
And by the way,
but that's cool.
And by the way, Mr. G wanted to tell you, MAGA ain't shit. But go ahead.
Got it. Yeah. MAGA ain't shit. And by the way, you guys can stand down. Don't worry. You got this blue wave coming. Midterms are going to go your way. It's going to be great. All of you just need to chill the fuck out. It's good to go.
That's what every
relax.
Well, you really think after hearing Bannon say we're going to surround all the polling places with ICE, the Democrats should just relax?
Well, here's what I think.
Okay.
I think.
What about that? What about that question though?
I'm going to. Can I answer your question? You asked me what do I think. I preface it by saying I think. So that means I'm about to tell you what I think. Can I go? Can I proceed? Or you got something else to throw in? Here's what I think. I think if Democrats were smart, and they're not, that they would understand, hey, listen, there is a problem. Both sides do not believe that we have the freest and fairest elections that we could have. And rather than let MAGA run roughshod over these elections, maybe we need to have somebody in the inside seeing the same exact thing and refereeing. So why not cooperate and say, you know what, we got a problem with it too. We're going to send our own people. You send whoever the fuck you want. We'll send whoever the fuck we want. And we will make sure that these elections are run super smooth.
That's dumb. First of all,
why is that dumb?
Because President Trump is in control, and he's already made it clear he don't work with Democrats. He's not going to do no. If he's already said he wants to get the election to the control of Republicans. He didn't say what you're saying. He made it clear we want to take control of it.
Hold on, Tim. How bad do you think it would be for the President of the United States to start getting cooperation from the other side and not extend it back to them? If you want to be, and I'm really pissed that I'm having to spell this out for you, that you're not bright enough to figure this out on your own. The only reason that Trump gets what he gets and gets the devotion from his side that he gets is because we see how badly you guys kick it goes, how badly you fight him on every single point the man makes. If you ever started cooperating, we would have to think, oh man, maybe it's not as bad as he's telling us. Maybe they are reasonable people, but y'all can't bring yourself
here's where the difference between the left and right is. You folks, since Trump came down the golden escalator, the response has always been pay attention to what he does. His policies are great, or whatever the case may be. Pay attention to what he does, not what he says. You guys have been trying from the day Trump announced he was running for the nation's highest office to convince the left to ignore stuff he says, ignore his Twitter account, or now it's X, or whether it's true. So what he has been saying has always clouded what he is doing, even if he's doing something that may be great for America. Here's an example. People say, well, he could cure cancer, and you guys are still not giving him credit. No, he's going to cure cancer and say, thank God you guys don't have that dumbass sleepy Joe Biden. He would have never done this. So he constantly...
What's wrong with that? It's
right.
True. What's wrong with that?
But that makes people not want to give him credit when he's doing that all the time.
I'll tell you something. Here's why we don't listen to you. Because you guys see racism when you think Trump's doing it, but you guys don't even see racism when it comes from your side.
And vice versa. You guys,
No.
You guys seen vote for me or you ain't black as racist. Meanwhile, Elon Musk is throwing up complete Roman salutes, and you guys are talking about he got autism.
Wasn't. No, and I just looked up your Tom Homan Roman salute. Man, you couldn't be more full of shit.
Oh my God.
Seriously. Why don't you?
What is a Roman salute? What does a Roman salute?
Show your example to everybody. The Tom Homan Roman salute.
Well, before
anyone agree agrees with you.
Before I do that, let me ask you, do you agree that Elon Musk did it?
No.
Well, then it don't matter.
No, of course it matters, because you are lying, and you should be exposed for that.
Have you seen Elon? Have you seen?
Listen, just because you say something doesn't make it true. And it is
and vice versa.
Coming out, and you say it again and again. The grab them by the pussy thing. Dude, you have said the same exact thing as the president. And yet when he says it, you make a big deal about it. That's nuts to me.
Where you're losing me at is you say, okay, you don't see Elon Musk. So what the hell was he doing in your opinion?
What do you mean? What was he doing? He was waving at the crowd. He is a very awkward person. You take less than a half a second. This guy throws his arm out. He's not doing a freaking Nazi salute.
Okay.
Do you even know what it looks like?
Yeah, we do. We do know what it looks like. I want you to look at the. Okay, well,
attribute it to other people.
Look at the. And by the way, Mr. G says, so you basically are vouching for Puerto Rican DC statehood. Yes, he is with the taxation thing, but he wouldn't want. I want you to look at.
It's not true. That is absolutely not true.
Nothing is true.
You've never asked me whether I want Puerto Rico or Washington D.C.
If you're complaining about taxation without representation,
constitutionally, Washington D.C. cannot become a state. So that's out. That isn't me deciding. Now, Puerto Rico, on the other hand, Puerto Rico has to want it. They have to vote for it, and you can't get them to vote for it.
Okay.
So that's not up to us either. You and we can't force them to be a state. Now, when Saskatchewan, Alberta, Manitoba, when they request in the next year or so to become states, what are y'all going to say then?
I don't think that's going to happen.
You want to make a bet?
Yeah, I don't think. I don't think
right now.
Listen.
6 provinces are voting on it right now.
You guys told you're the same guy that tried to indicate Greenland was going to want to be part of the United States as well. Look how that turned out. So
yeah, we own Greenland. That's how it turned out.
No, you don't own Greenland. You don't own.
We do.
No, you don't.
Listen, Tim. What can't we do to Greenland?
You don't own it.
What can't we do?
You don't own it. I'm just going to say that.
We have license plates on that motherfucker.
You don't own it.
We absolutely do. We can put anything we want there.
You don't own it.
What's better than owning it?
You don't own it. They can tell you to leave.
Better?
Well,
okay.
the reason
we don't own it?
No,
we got better than owning.
Then if you already owned it, then what the hell was Trump talking about?
He was trying to make a point, and he made his point.
All that?
He made it very yes.
So in other words, so in other words, when him saying we need to own Greenland, it was based on something we already had.
Yeah, President Trump wanted to have our bases on Greenland, so he said we're going to come for Greenland. What they said, no, don't come for Greenland. Don't come for Greenland. Well, you can put your bases there. You can put your bases there. And what is he going to do? He's going to put our bases there.
Let's go into the clip.
And your family, and you're not going to be grateful.
Yeah, let's go into the clip. That sounds crazy. Let's go into the clip.
Yeah, it sounds crazy for you because you have a hard time understanding.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
Is that how you wave? You said it's a wave.
From my heart to you. When did
you smack yourself on the chest when you wave? That's how you wave.
That's not how I wave, but I'm not all.
That ain't how nobody waves. That's how the Third Reich waves. Nobody waves.
Show me one brown shirt that ever did it like that.
If
you see what you want to see. Because you are so ate up with a dumbass. That's what you want to see.
You said that's how you wave. If you were hanging out with some buddies and you're like, okay, we about to go home, we'll see you tomorrow. And one of them waved like that. Nobody waves like that.
You think that equates to what Germans did in the 30s.
Well, you told me it's a wave.
That's what you saw.
You just said he's waving.
What you saw.
Once you said he's waving, you kind of lost credibility. That ain't a wave.
He 100% said from my heart to you.
Okay.
Show Tom Homans.
Nobody, I don't know. I can't find it. I was looking for it.
And I bet you can't.
Nobody's
looking too hard.
Well, if you don't see it in, because Tom Homans is softer than that. If you don't see that hard ass Roman salute from
Tom
Elon,
Holland was pointing at something, and you guys said,
well,
I watched it.
Well,
I watched it. Dude.
Well, according to
Tom
you,
Holland was pointing at something, and this is what I'm saying. And if you saw the Roman salute in what Elon did, then you will see it anywhere. Okay, you got animals doing that shit for you.
Yeah. If, like I said, if you don't see it in Elon's, you ain't gonna see it in anybody's. I mean, not only did he do it, he did it aggressively. I mean, he smacked his chest and everything.
I know, buddy. I know, Puddin'. Listen, you don't see racism. Do you know what the first movie ever shown at the White House was?
The Birth of a Nation?
Yeah. What was the original name of Birth of a Nation?
But that's not racist either?
You certainly wouldn't see that as racist, would you?
Yeah, I would. Hell yeah, that was racist.
The Democrat Woodrow Wilson shows and by the way, here's how we know it was racist. Because Woodrow Wilson said, we are writing history with lightning. So he endorsed that movie, but you vote for them Dems, baby.
It's going all the way back to fucking Woodrow Wilson.
Oh, yeah, you don't love history. I know you don't know history. You don't like history.
Well,
I get it. Let's go forward. Have you ever listened to LBJ? Any phone call, just pull up any phone call that LBJ made out of the White House. That's one of your favorite Democrat presidents. You will hear more N-words in that conversation than in a thesaurus. And you guys don't see it.
No, because it was, listen, hold on. You on a rambling spree. Let me make something clear to you.
No, I'm not rambling.
Yeah, you are. You still doing it. You're doing it right now. Here's the point. No. You're still doing it. Fact is, once you give African Americans civil rights, like Lyndon Johnson did, they're going to overlook a few N-words, okay? I mean, is that not what you tell us to do all the time? Is pay attention to what Trump does, not what he says? But now with Lyndon B. Johnson, you got to pay attention to what he says.
That's what I'm asking you. So what you're asking is that the Fair Step Act, right? That doesn't equate to you, right? Making permanent the HBCU funding. See, that's what you guys like to gloss over. He gave $550 million to HBCUs. That would be great. That would be fantastic. But Trump went one step further and made it permanent. They didn't have to go to the White House anymore every single year and ask for that money.
I've heard otherwise.
Guess what?
I've heard otherwise.
I know you have, because you guys cannot take it when someone's not being racist to you. You don't like it. If they ain't got a check in their hand, you don't like it. They are racist to you. You want everything.
I don't think it has anything to do with a check. I think it's Trump's comments and things a lot of the shit that's come out of his Twitter account.
Because you love LBJ, even though he's
LBJ is a whole LBJ. That shit's like 60, 70 years ago. That shit's like if you're gonna tell me about how we loved LBJ, then I'm gonna bring up how all the conservatives did not want LBJ to give folks civil rights. You guys loved it. You guys loved the opposition. You want to go with that?
100%. 100%, because of what you had to give up for it. They did not want the Civil Rights Act, not because it gave people civil rights,
bullshit,
but because of what came with it. Listen, I know you don't like history.
No, I don't agree with your I don't agree with your version of history.
But how far back can we go with you guys? How far back with the Democrats? How far back is history?
Sherbert in the comments asked a good question. What did you have to give up to get black civil rights? Why were they against it? What was being given up?
Look, you don't like history, okay? You don't like history. So I'm not gonna. We're not going into all of that because you.
Right. You had to give up your supremacy. You had to give up your supremacy. What you didn't want to give up.
I'm talking about what black people gave up.
You didn't want to give up your supremacy. Is why y'all didn't want to give civil rights up. That's why you didn't like it, because it meant you weren't going to be a supremacist anymore. That's what. Look, like I said, you're just not going to see anything Trump did wrong, and you're going to see everything the Democrats do wrong.
It's not true.
Yeah, it is. The Elon Musk thing is overwhelmingly. Even the Germans. Even the Germans banned Elon Musk after that fucking Roman salute. They don't know how to recognize it.
They didn't ban him for that.
They took it. They did all kinds of shit.
No. They banned him. Oh, listen, they banned him because they didn't want X to give people the freedom of speech that they were giving them.
Oh my God!
All of Europe all of Europe is upset with Elon. They are suing him for billions of dollars because he is giving the people freedom of speech, American style.
So it had nothing to do with the Roman salute.
Twisted.
It had nothing to do with the Roman salute.
No, I mean, they can say whatever they want, but they are suing him. Why are they suing him?
So in other words, even if they tell you it's over the Roman salute, you're just not going to believe it.
No,
that's what you just said. You said they can say whatever they want. You said they can say.
Are you married?
So it got nothing to do with that. So in other words, even if they tell you it's over the Roman salute, you're just not going to believe it.
There was no Roman salute. And most Germans, I'm German myself, most Germans recognize the difference between the two.
Okay.
Anyone that is being fair-minded, and I know that's a struggle for you. But by the way, I did not watch, you didn't ask me, but I didn't watch the Super Bowl, the 4th ranked worst Super Bowl of all time. I didn't watch the halftime show. But I will also tell you that people, I know why the NFL did it, and the only intelligent thing that Stick has ever said, and I think it was Stick, has ever said, it was financial. The NFL was thinking larger. They were playing chess.
Everything. No, I said that. I'm the one that said that.
Okay, well then that's one of the. You're right about a lot of things. I won't say that. You're right about a few things, but I will say this. Well, I'm giving you.
I'm listening. Keep going. Just keep going.
I will give you. I was gonna say something, but I don't just say things out of my mouth. Are we not supposed to watch the Puppy Bowl or the Lingerie Bowl during halftime? What can MAGA watch that's not the halftime show and not be racist in your head? What do we have permission to watch so we aren't racist, Tim? And by the way,
well, first of all, and that's a good question. The problem with this one is, unlike the Puppy Bowl, President Trump said all kinds of awful shit about it. Then, of course, after it, I got this long ass. If he did this about the Puppy Bowl, people would have a comment too. I mean, the way he treated it, the way MAGA treated it, they're bringing up. They attacked the dude. They attacked the
Guess
NFL.
What? President Trump can have his opinion.
And
he
people,
can have
and so
opinion he wants.
right,
He
can have his opinion of whatever he wants. As you say, you're right about that. So when people say he's racist, they can have their opinion too.
100%.
And then here we are. Then I gotta move on, but I gotta move it on. But that's the opinion. Then he has his opinion. The folks that believe he's racist as hell, they have theirs. I think we got a winner here.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, if you want to think that you never said the same exact thing as the president about grabbing women by the pussy, that they will allow it if you're powerful enough and if you're rich enough. If you want to believe that the Democrats are not racist and the Republicans are, look, man, that's why we have two parties. You know what I mean? You are free to engage that. As far as taking a bullet for somebody, listen, man, I went to war. That means I offered myself up to take a bullet for every single person in this country. So, anyone saying that they take a bullet for the president, I'll go one better. I've offered that for myself, for everybody in this country. Every single veteran that ever raised their hand to support this country and to serve this country has done the exact same thing. And that includes
but the people that say they would take a bullet for Trump would not take a bullet for Biden. That's the difference. That's the difference. It is true. I gotta go. They think Biden, some of them wanted Biden to be unalive. I gotta go. Thank you.
Sure, it's true.
Appreciate it. And looking in the comments though, Vance and Elon 2028, Elon can't be president. He wasn't born in America. So you can throw that one away right off the bat. Bad Bunny was a complete waste of time. Somebody says Donald Trump is a racist, followed by nope, not a racist. Just smarter than you. Anyhow, folks, I do appreciate the 152,000. SGB says, stop looking. Oh, let me make sure I didn't miss anything before we do what we got to do. Didn't realize Elon's heart was on his right side. Yeah, like this is what I'm saying. If you can see how racist Biden is and vote for me, you ain't black or some of this other stuff, but Elon can throw up a Roman salute. Trump posting, Trump has done a lot of things, white power videos. And it didn't take much to view Biden as a racist, but Trump can do all sorts of things that are controversial and get all sorts of excuses. That to me is where I have the problem at. If you can recognize vote for me, you ain't black as racist, you obviously can see racism. How's Trump getting a pass on all of this stuff? Because he is. Because I think it kind of, my analysis of it is it appears as if MAGA in particular have their own belief that we can see racism and our view is right and all of you guys, everybody else's view is wrong. Because what minority communities view as racist, MAGA disagrees with all of that. They generally disagree with anything that the minorities think is racist. They have their own view of racism. Their view is right and everybody else's is wrong. That's the way I see it. Because it don't matter what Trump does. Some kind of way, somehow, the minorities who think that is racist, they're wrong. I mean, even when it comes to him not renting apartments to African Americans, things like that, none of that stuff was racist. But vote for me, you ain't black is. I'll say go figure with that. Go figure with that. I think people who are victims of racism, just like women who are victims of assault, you know who is fucking with you. You know who did you wrong. So the idea that MAGA, which is overwhelmingly white America. There's some black and other, Hispanic MAGA, but MAGA is overwhelmingly white. They're telling folks who believe they're victims of racism, no, you're wrong. You were not a victim. So I'll leave it at that. They're telling, he didn't do you wrong. Biden with the vote for me, you ain't black. That's the guy that's racist. Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton, those are the dudes that are being racist to you. I'm just going to say it this way. There are people who spend basically every waking day either being involved in racial issues or being outright racist themselves. I'm talking about folks like Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, who civil rights leaders. They're involved in racist stuff all the time. Civil rights leaders, whether it's, lawsuits, showing up to somebody who's wrongfully killed by police. Ben Crump, civil rights attorney, he's a guy like that. You got those folks. And then you also have the white supremacist guys, the Nazis, the neo-Nazis. Them are also folks, just like the civil rights leaders, that eat, sleep, and breathe racism. Both of those groups, for some reason, view Trump as intolerant. The civil rights leaders and the neo-Nazis and the white, all of them folks believe that President Trump, for some reason, is racially intolerant. You don't see any of these white supremacist groups talking about we need to put Biden back in, or we need to vote for Kamala Harris, or let's get Gavin Newsom in there. He'll strike a blow for the white man. You don't hear that. You don't see Nick Fuentes talking about, damn, let's get Bernie Sanders in there. No, they go right. They lean right. So that should speak volumes that both the civil rights leaders and the folks that are supremacists, Brown Party, all of them folks, the neo-Nazis, both of those groups, for some reason, see Trump in that manner. You heard, what was his name? I can't even think of the guy's name right now, but he was also, he said if you don't, if you don't vote for Trump, he considers it treason to the white race. I cannot think of the guy's name. David Duke. He said that. Why would he say that? Why would he say something like that? This guy's been a well-known racist for decades. He can't detect racism all of a sudden. Why would he say something like that? Same thing with Nick Fuentes. You hear that Nick Fuentes has racial quotes that are a mile. Why would he want to go meet Trump at his house? Why would he want to do that? Why didn't he go meet Biden or Kamala? Why would he go meet Trump? So some of this stuff is left up to you to make your own choices. But like I said, when the people that eat, sleep, and breathe racism all seem to think, it's coming from one side or one guy, at the very least, that's noteworthy. That's noteworthy. The civil rights leaders are seeing it, and the folks who are, fighting on behalf of the Confederates, fighting on behalf of all white towns, fighting on behalf of, minority intolerance. They all seem to see the same thing out of one person. Why is that? That doesn't make sense to me. That's all I'm saying. That does not make sense whatsoever. So anyhow, I appreciate the 150 plus thou you guys know how the program is ran. If you're currently watching us on Instagram, TikTok, or Substack, feel free to follow the program. If you're watching us on YouTube, give us a sub. We're here most weeknights. It's your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. Unfortunately, I got to step away. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thank you. And thank you folks on YouTube as well.